Hello and welcome to the Berkcast, the How to Train Your Dragon podcast. I'm your host HC. With me are
Wolf.
Ian.
It's me. Hi. I'm Audrie.
I am so happy that you did that because this bit was genius. Anyway, we're a week late because there are circumstances, and I guess we also need to process a few things about this. But Nine Realms is back! Yay! We are six seasons. You realize that this show has the same number of seasons as Race to the Edge. You are free to cry.
You put
Wait, it
those words
does?
back in your mouth.
What?
I'm
I
sorry.
thought Race to the Edge had 7 seasons.
No, it only had 6.
Oh god.
But it had
but-
13 per season, so
yeah, it
that's
did have more
fair.
episodes.
But
For
Race to the
now.
Edge does have more episodes, and also
For
if you want to
now.
get technical, Riders and Defenders do count, so it's not there
No,
yet,
they
and it will
don't.
never. They
No,
do.
no, no,
Shut
no.
up.
No.
They do.
Okay,
Yeah,
in that case, they have 8 seasons. So guess
Yeah.
what?
The
For
arbitrary is Riders and Defenders part of the Race to the Edge season count debate. I am not taking part in this.
now.
Um,
Fair.
They are for all intents and purposes, and that's what I'm
They're
saying.
not.
So that has
The one
eight,
is Cartoon Network, the other one is Netflix. I mean, come on.
but they are connected canonically. That's all there's to say.
Well,
moving on.
technically, so is the 9 Realms to Race to the Edge, but we don't talk
Yeah.
about that, do we?
Yeah.
The thing is, though.
So in that
if
case,
you
this
start-
is just extra seasons of Race to the Edge.
Shut
We should be
up.
happy.
Okay,
No.
okay. Before anyone freaking dies here, and moving on. So season 6 of the Nine Realms is out. As usual, we're gonna start with a quick non-spoilery debate, and then when we're about to go into spoilers, we'll let you know so you could go watch the season if you're willing, and then come back. Anyway, guys, I don't know. I think it's the best season yet, and not just in an ironic way. It's not good, it's not great, but I think it was mostly alright.
Oh god, I was gonna say it was one of the worst ones I watched.
Wow.
I don't
I'm
know.
meh on this one too. I'll admit.
Yeah.
I
You
think
know
it's I think it's Eugene, man. I used to like him, and they're making me hate him.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
actually-
a huge
that's-
problem I have with it too.
Yeah.
That's the thing, that the reason I'm saying that I think it's alright is because there are some good ideas here. But,
I mean, there's some good moments.
but-
Sure,
I
there's
guess.
some decent
But
and
it's
good
a
moments
very
throughout
big-
all of Nine Realms.
I just
But
want to say when it's one of the best ones, it's more in terms of, listen, you know that the standard is low for this show. But I'll tell you what, if season 1 started out in this quality, I would say, okay, not the worst thing ever. I can live with this existing. But this is 6 seasons in, too little, too late. But I'll give it credit where it's due. I think some parts were actually done well. Not amazing, but it's something, damn it. It's something.
No. I
Yeah,
definitely
well-
didn't.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I felt like it was literally they had only one single resolution in every single episode, and that was Tom fucked up, and that
Yeah.
was all of it. It's just
Welcome to the Nine Realms.
Yeah.
This is what
no. It wasn't that all the time, but this season really hammered down like Tom is really just awful at everything.
but
Actually,
like,
Audrie, you didn't
that's-
really say what
Go
your general consensus
Yeah.
is. So what is your quick thoughts about season 6?
Well, I happen to agree with HC. I think
Fair.
that this is probably the least worst season of the entire show so far. Now, disclaimer, I'm going to treat this like a pharmaceutical commercial. It is not a
Oh, no.
good season. As I said in my season 1 review, there are no good things in the Nine Realms. There are only things that are not as bad as other things in the show. And this was the least offensive season so far. I think in terms of characters and the arcs they go through and the overall narrative of every single episode, that's always been where this show's lacking. and this season had the most of it out of any season so far in terms of actual things happening where characters develop and they go through something. Yes, it's forgotten by the next episode, but at least there's an abundance of those things, whereas in the past there's only been one or two.
Yeah. That
Hmm.
let's say there's only one episode that I hate this season or dislike. Everything else I'm like, all right, I can kind of live with that.
Yeah.
And also, should we? It's not really a spoiler, but should we say that I think it's Winston once again demonstrates his amazing powers twice. It happens twice.
Yes, it does. It happens in I think episode
It happens
5.
in. I think it happens. It happens in either in 5 and episode 7, the last
Yep.
one.
I was watching after the first one. I'm like, please do it again, please, and they did. So, gold star on this season for me.
That was just an Easter egg for you guys.
Yeah.
I feel like there were a lot of Easter eggs to
Because
the reviews posted online in this
you
new
know,
season.
just to quickly talk about it, I was actually thinking about this because Audrie, you remember in your season 2 review when Winston changed the skin color and you said that you took it to John Tallaghan, who, by the way, again, no disrespect. I know John, you're doing your best, John, on the off chance you're listening to this. But and he said that it was something to do with the lighting of the scenes. Sometimes it changes, and it's like it was kind of an sure, buddy, whatever you say moment. So,
much.
but for the sake of the argument, okay, for the sake of the argument, let's say he had a point. It was the scene was at night. There was fire. Maybe something fucked up. I don't know. For the sake of the argument, when it happens here, there is no such thing that can impact the lighting. It's clear daylight in both instances. What happened?
Well, can there even
don't
be
even
clear
care, I
daylight in the
love it.
realms? I mean,
There's a sun in the ice realm. We've established this.
Yeah,
I
I
guess.
guess.
I guess so. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, I just because I'm like, okay, you know what? First time you say lighting, I don't really buy it, but here, like, dude, this is sunny with a chance of changing your skin color, and I tested. This is not how it changes, but whatever. It happens. I'm happy. Moving on.
No, it's just a message on current society. It's really deep, actually, if you think about
Yeah, it's if whoever gets it, it's a canon event.
Yes, it
it. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Anyway, anything else non-spoilery to say about this season other than Adrian? I think it was the least offensive one so far, and you two are kind of about it.
No, I think that's fair. I
We're
think
not-
this
Yeah.
might be one of those slightly polarizing seasons, right? Either you were, you know what, yeah for that, or you were for this, and that's about all you're gonna get.
Believe me, there were some moments where I
Oh.
had to bite my tongue.
Fair.
because
Oh,
that
there
was
are.
just
There
awful.
are.
I mean, I
Oh,
think that's
man.
9 realms in general. There are moments.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I cringed so much at some points. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
On that note,
unreal.
before we get to the actual spoilers, I just want to say, without giving away, it's in the trailer, so you know the new realms is they are just making these realms look more and more like fucking Mario worlds. Now there's a giant realm.
I'm
like,
okay with that because at least it's something completely new and different, I guess. Does it
But
make
it's
any
so
sense?
weird,
No.
though.
But none of the realms
no,
have made
it-
sense
because-
at this
listen,
point, if we
listen.
really think about it.
No.
I guess.
But when there's like a crystal realm, fire realm, ice realm, forest, these are like things that okay, there's like a nature theme to it. I can suddenly giant realm. I'm sorry, what?
I think they're just sponsored by the game Grounded. I think that's what's happening. They're
Sure,
sponsored
sure.
by the game companies. Only the deal didn't go through, so now they're stuck with this weird realm.
And we got the well, I guess it's like shit. The 9 Realms video game didn't sell as well as we hoped.
Exactly.
I
So
have
now
my
they're
own
bringing out
theories on the
DLC.
realms and why I think it's stupid what they're doing, but we'll get into it.
Get the-
Okay, so you don't have a theory about how this makes sense. You have a theory about how stupid it is.
Have you seen my reviews? That's all
No,
I do.
okay. I mean, good point. Good point. Yeah, okay.
Mhm. So
Very fair.
might as well. If you haven't seen the new season and you want to, this is the point where you close the video because we are about to talk about spoilers. So spoilers in 3, 2, 1. You still here? Good. So episode 1.
Yeah,
The
I don't
conflict.
remember.
Okay, listen, I am so baffled by this conflict because on the one hand, all right, we're actually doing something that's kind of new, which is okay. The people in this freaking research facility know about dragons now, so the dragons are more common around the facility, and the writers gonna need to keep them in check. Okay, fine, but then it kind of dawned on me. Wait, why does revealing that a few kids ride dragons in their spare time suddenly cause the entire colony of dragons to just, you know what, we want to fuck around the research facility. We were hidden for all of this time, but now we just want to be out of the but out of the hidden world and all that. And I'm like, wait. And then Tom says that he kind of allows it. He kind of motivated them, which I'm like, why would you do that? And then it becomes even worse when he tells them we have to catch all the dragons because if one of them flies off the island, the secret's out. So why would you put them up there in the first place, you idiot?
I
I'm
am
gonna.
not. Did he say he was motivated to?
Yeah, he said it.
Oh.
I'm gonna remind you of something. You remember the first episode of Riders of Berk? This is
Yes.
that.
Oh my god, I literally have a note right
But
here.
not as
This
good.
is beat for beat how to start a Dragon Academy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'm aware.
They copy a few episodes from the previous shows in this new season, but we'll talk about it.
But the problem is, though, in my opinion, right? Like I'm looking at this one, and I look back at how to start a Dragon Academy, and like I feel like Riders of Berk did it better, and that's mostly because one, the adults didn't seem like complete idiots all the time in Riders of Berk and Defenders of Berk and all that.
Part of the course.
Yeah, but
yeah, I've gotten to the point where I can't even critique the adults being idiots because it's just low hanging fruit. Like we know they're stupid.
It bothers me though.
Speaking of the adults being idiots,
it bothers me still.
Speaking of the adults being idiots, can we talk about how when Tom does something cool with Thunder, they actually cheer for him, do the boom boom goodbye, do the boom boom goodbye. It's like, you are scientists? You are adults with a job? Why are you acting like fangirls in high school?
Listen, that one I'm willing to accept. They're scientists, man. It's cool shit, right? Fair enough.
And they don't know how the kids talk.
It's more the enthusiasm that, I don't know. There's something about the enthusiasm and the cheering for it that's just felt really off.
My issue is more so like, the security chief coming to this kid being like, yo, you need to do something. I'm security chief. I should probably learn about this, but nah. It's like,
if I could just interject for a second, because a big point in my last review in the finale was, what are they going to do next with the adults finding out about dragons? Because all these scientists that are here to explore the fissure, discover new species. What are they going to do with this information? Not only this information scientifically, but the fact that their kids have been riding these dragons and there's this gigantic world. How is this show, which fucks everything up, going to deal with that? And I finally got the answer with this new season. They don't. They don't. No, they don't deal with it at all. We time jump, and dragons are just, okay, they're here now. That's it.
And there's also a point where D'Angelo's father tells them like one of your dragon friends went into like the emergency room and ate all of the emergency radishes, and like, wait, weren't you like on the verge of freezing to that last time and you didn't?
They don't even mention it.
This
Come on.
this killed me. Like, yeah, you guys don't really know about this either anyway, so
I think
no harm done.
Oh, man.
I think being around the fissure just messes with people's minds a little bit. Like the gas is coming
It's
up or
the
something.
asteroid. It's the asteroid.
It's the asteroid, yeah, I guess.
That's actually a conspiracy theory I could get behind. Because it explains a lot. It explains probably more than my ketamine theory.
Fair.
Oh my god. So
But
okay.
yeah, like so many of the the problems that arise, right, can either be ascribed to just, especially this season, it feels so bad this season, is either people just relying way too heavily on Tom or the kids and just not being able to be competent just a little bit, please, or Eugene. And
We'll get to Eugene, but with the adult, I get you with the adults because again, like a 15-year-old boy, I think he's 15. Let's say he's 15.
Who cares?
Like a teenager tamed a wild animal that hasn't been seen for a millennium. I think adults have a fair chance with it. Call it a hunch.
I don't know, man. These adults, like you have made the scientific discovery of all of history, and you are putting a 15-year-old boy in charge of all of this?
And and that's another thing. If we're gonna compare this to Riders of Berk, because it's kind of the same thing, putting Hiccup in charge makes more sense there because one, son of the chief, and two, he's the one that brought this change to begin with.
Even ignoring that, right? Like Stoic was still competent for the most part. Like, yeah, he didn't understand dragons, but you saw him learn throughout the seasons, right? And to get better.
Yeah.
That's like the big thing. Like most of these adult characters, like we've not seen any of them learn or get better, even though they're supposed to be there, and the kids look up to these people, and like they're supposed to be the role model, blah blah blah. And it's just,
I just want to say, looking back at it, people who listen to our writers and just previous episodes we've done know that I never liked Mildew at all. Here it's just like, let's just make every adult like Mildew. Doesn't willing to evolve, doesn't willing to accept anything. They're just going to rely on the kids to eventually either mess everything up or fix everything up. They're all Mildews. Fuck them.
I mean, they're not as bad as Mildew. At least they're not.
Okay, obviously they're not villains, and they're not.
Well, they're not trying to specifically cause trouble. I don't think they've ever caused.
No, I'm not saying they're trying to cause trouble. I'm just saying in terms of the mentality of let's actually put kids.
Oh, the adults have mentality? I didn't know.
Fair point.
They just don't do anything.
It's
not even Mildew. It's just nothing.
Even Olivia. I mean, Olivia was a major character last season, and it was all about her relationship with Tom. How many lines did she have this season? I don't mean this episode. This whole season, like 4.
Like I think like she only has 2 episodes, where maybe 3, where she's less than half this time.
Like even looking at this episode specifically, right? Like we have the start of it where she's like, hey, Tom, you look like you're having issues, and it looks like everyone's like ganging up on you a little bit. Let me get everyone off your back for a bit. And then that's it. She does nothing else. Like,
she basically just says, maybe
it felt
maybe
like
you should.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Maybe you should, trust your team a little more. And then she just disappears.
Yeah, that, right?
Nothing
else.
She
disappears, and it felt like, it felt like, hey, we're gonna do a moment with Olivia and Tom here, and she's gonna teach him, to rely on other people a bit more. But no, Tom pretty much learns that by himself without her, and it's like,
yep.
How do we need you around, Mom? What do you do? Like, I'm sorry.
I will say, moving on from the adults thing, I will say that I didn't hate this episode in particular. In fact, I thought it was one of the stronger of the season because it is the first episode in how fucking long where Tom and Thunder have bonded.
Exactly.
Yes.
It's like, holy shit. The not Hiccup and not Toothless are actually fucking bonding in this show. Who would have thunk? Who the
Hey,
How,
fuck?
it's so infuriating to me because you had plot points like the end of season 4 where it's, oh, is Thunder
Yeah,
gonna leave forever and him and Tom are gonna be separated?
and
Who
nobody gave
fucking
a shit.
cared? Who
Yeah.
cared? They have no bonding moments. They have no episodes dedicated to each other. I think the most recent one was probably like back in season 2 when Tom was
Mhm.
searching for Thunder when he was looking for his family. And even
Yeah.
that's questionable. I mean, so much of the original franchise, and I am going to compare the two,
Yep.
is especially in the shows. Art and Doug would say all the time that Toothless and Hiccup's relationship drives the story. They had a saying that they would write on all their screenplays. WT, where's Toothless? You have to have Toothless around or else the story isn't going to progress. They don't
And
even consider that in this show. So this is the first time in forever we've seen, oh, Tom and Thunder have a connection. This is something interesting. Why didn't this happen 5 seasons ago?
That's
and
true.
we'll get to something. You probably know what I'm talking about, but we'll get there.
Oh yeah.
So, but in this,
I'm
so
waiting.
one, I appreciate a Tom and Thunder solo adventure where they actually get moments to bond and be friends. Holy shit! What an
Only,
odd
only.
concept.
By the way, only because of Tom's incompetence.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Again, I just want to stress: I'm giving the show credit here and there. The reasons for that are dumb. Everything about the story itself is not well thought out. But you know what? I'm gonna fucking take it if
I
there's
mean,
something.
let,
A
let's let's be
semblance.
let's be clear with that, right? Like we can say Tom's incompetence, but we feel that way because we watched all 7 episodes of this. The first episode, I will admit, I do also agree. What felt, you know what, this is pretty good for the show standards.
Oh,
Because, like,
if you're
coming
minding your
back to it,
going,
like, all right,
I
I'm
have
interested in this. I want to see where the rest of the season is going. We're doing a little bit of stuff here. Some things are going on. Some stuff is here that I at least can say, you know what, I like this. I'm okay with this. I like the direction they're going. It's after that fact that I became less and less interested in this season.
I feel
I
like
don't
I
blame you.
liked. I feel like I liked the concept of like, oh yeah, Tom might have this huge ego now that everybody's just basically
Hey,
coming to him
you want to
for
talk
all the
about
knowledge.
concepts? I actually, if you know me, you know that I'm all about self-proving kind of stories. Where the
Mhm.
protagonist might
Yeah.
feel that he's not living up to something that's bigger than him or her, and they need to find out, and they find out that they just because they're not like a predecessor, they can still do it. Like How to Train Dragon 2 was basically about that, with Hiccup realizing he doesn't have to be like Stuick in order to be chief. And if you listen to some of the recent outcasts we did, Into and Across the Spider-Verse also touches on this. So the idea of Tom thinking, I'm not Hiccup, which, yeah, we joked, of course, sure as shit you're not Hiccup, you'll never be. I don't want him to be Hiccup. I want
Nah,
him to
obviously.
try and grow and be his own dragon rider, his own
But
thing.
he's
But
gonna
the
be.
problem is, he's an idiot who never learns and never actually gets to prove himself that he's worthy to be. I don't care that he's not Hiccup. I care that he's not earning it. I gave this example to a few friends and my girlfriend when I was describing this. Imagine the What's Up Danger scene from Into the Spider-Verse, but Miles Morales doesn't earn shit in it. You are lost. You are lost if the main character doesn't earn anything. This is gone. This is done, and Tom doesn't earn it. I like the concept, but after 6 seasons, he didn't earn shit.
Well, I think my main issue is, and I probably should have said this before we got into spoiler territory. I have made it very clear that post season 4, I don't care what this show tries to do anymore. I don't take it seriously, and neither do a lot of people. So even when they do good things and they introduce good concepts, I don't care. I mean, it's good that you're introducing those things. I have less to complain about in my reviews, but it's too late.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah,
That
that's
might be why I'm
how I
like,
said, too
oh yeah.
little, too late. After 6 seasons, after 6 seasons, this guy didn't earn anything. I don't care about him anymore.
Yeah, that might just be why I find this season meh, because I just didn't. I didn't give it a chance anymore.
Now, from a moment, I'm like, okay, you have a concept here, but I just can't get behind it. To a concept that's out of nowhere, Deus Ex Machina almost, and nobody mentions it again, and it pisses me off. Did Thunder just go alpha? Is this what happened?
Yep.
Oh, we're doing this now. Okay, right. There's a
Like-
couple of things in this episode, by the way, like that. For example, did you notice how they definitely didn't try to do the hiccup thing at the ship scene in How to Train Dragon 2, where he's like, I don't know what to do anymore.
I mentioned that. I will mention it. It's the same arc, only
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah. Why? Then the alpha thing. It's just
And the alpha thing doesn't make sense to me because, okay, to be honest, even the movies don't really go into how this works. Or unless the only thing they mentioned is that if if Grimmel were to kill Toothless at the end of movie 3, then there would be no alpha because the alpha was invested by a dragon, supposedly. Fair. But how does it work, in case Toothless dies of old age? Does it, does it go to one of the other Nightlights? Is Thunder just an alpha now?
Maybe that's why they were inbreeding.
I guess. Maybe.
Just with the whole alpha thing. I mean, first off, when it happened, I couldn't have rolled my eyes harder. I'm like, oh my god, you are actually gonna do this right now.
Rolled eyes. My eyes were like rolling, and then they came back. They did a whole 360.
Yeah, and as you were talking about with the technicality of all of this, we saw that the Elder Nightlight had been the alpha maybe in the past, which I say a line in my season 4 review where something to the effect of, if it's revealed that this dragon is the alpha, I'm going to save that rant for a future review because that's a whole mess in and of itself. And it is. Because the alpha can, to some extent, take control of dragons. We saw this in the Hidden World where Toothless is able to communicate at the very least with dragons, except for the Death Grippers because they were, poisoned by themselves, and that was the whole thing. So the Snow Wraith attack doesn't make any sense if the Elder Dragon was the alpha. And
there you go.
Thunder becoming the alpha also doesn't make any sense because when did that happen?
Exactly. And also, this doesn't come back. Like, you think he would use this fucking thing in the later episodes where it would have made sense.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most infuriating parts because I know it's probably not going to be explained. Because how can they? The closest thing they can do is like, oh, there's this line in the Dragon Book about the Alpha or some shit like that. Or maybe they find something else with Hiccup's dead body over it. I don't know. But something...
Jesus.
I know that nothing is going to be explained, most likely. And if it is, it's going to be something stupid that contradicts the original franchise, like everything in the show.
And itself.
A thought for you, right? Maybe we should just start looking at this show like shonen anime protagonist, right?
No.
And that's Thunder discovering like an extra part of his power where he can just do this thing now, but he's not fully realized it yet. He just realized it in the moment because he was scared for Tom's safety.
He's reached level 56.
Wolf, I am gonna... Wolf, in all honesty, get your ruby sheet out of here.
Oh, man.
I don't know if it was this episode or one after it, but at one point someone says, it actually is the next episode because someone says, well, we can't get in trouble with the dragons on the surface world. They could be banned from the surface world. I'm like, would that really be such a fucking bad thing?
Yeah, that was
honestly,
the last episode, I believe.
Like, again, honestly, if you want to stick true to the message of the movies, the dragons being banned from the surface world is kind of probably the best for both kinds.
Oh, no, that wasn't the last one. It was second.
It was next episode.
Yeah.
Next?
And
oh, shit, it is.
Yeah, I think Eugene has a line, too, where he's complaining about, Tom getting all the glory again, which doesn't even make any fucking sense in and of itself. But that's a whole other thing. Where Eugene says something like, "How many free passes does this group give to Tom?" And I'm like, once again, Eugene is the
Yeah.
one making sense. They're
Yeah.
treating him like
Eugene
this
is
giant
so-
asshole, but he makes
True.
sense.
But my
No,
problem
Eugene's
later
like,
in this
they'll-
season, though,
they'll-
is how many free passes do they give you, dude? How many free
No, I'm
passes
gonna
do
talk
you
about
get?
that because they did Eugene even more dirty than season 5.
Yeah,
I
somehow.
mean,
No,
fair. The
Eugene-
writers did.
Eugene is the equivalent of a roller coaster in this fucking show. Every
I
time
have
they
a
do
note
something
that says,
breakthrough-
"Does Eugene have multiple personalities or something?" Because
You know
he
what?
gets
Fair.
so often in this.
Fair.
Uh,
Completely
Uh,
fair at this point.
I guess one more thing, so two more things.
We not mentioned it.
Oh.
Deadly Natters this episode. Woo.
Yeah.
It was cool to see
oh,
them.
also,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
yeah.
nice to
nice
have
to
you
see them.
back.
Yeah.
And you got a decent
so-
moment.
We've had
so
them before, though.
it's really
Have we?
no.
I don't remember.
I
It's
think
been
so.
so long, Ian.
I think it's season 1, literally.
It's
where they-
been years.
Okay.
So,
Literally.
So a few tiny more things to close this episode off. So I will say, without knowing it going in, there was actually a bit of an intrigue with Sled Bitch's plan, where honestly I thought she was gonna
this
make
was
a dragon
so
armor.
annoying.
I thought she was gonna make dragon armor with this thing, and I'm like, well, show I'm used to being disappointed, so I don't know.
Oh man,
And
that was
it-
so annoying.
I think that
was
would have
just-
been
it was-
more interesting, to be honest, than what we got. But we'll get to her.
That reveal.
Yes, we will.
That
We
reveal,
will.
by the way,
And
it would have
two-
been. Sorry.
So the other thing, honestly, two June moments. Like one near the end again, there's the point where Tom is looking at the original writers in the book, and June is like, maybe he also had his team, and she again stares into the camera with those freaking eyes, and it's like, get it off
Okay.
screen.
I just need
She's-
I need to jump in right here.
Yeah.
When that happened, I was kind of smiling to myself and I was like, "Bitch, say their names. I fucking dare you to say their names. If you
Yeah.
do, I will jump through this screen and bitch slap you so hard your purple eyes will pop out of that fucking skull. I
man.
dare you to say their name." Thankfully,
Oh man,
she
I'm looking
didn't.
forward. I'm looking forward to season 7 now.
Oh, no.
We've learned
the
how to
other
speak the
thing-
runes.
And the other thing with
You
June
learned
is
to do that by now.
Yeah,
Come
they
on.
did learn to do that. Yeah.
a really small thing, and we'll get to it in episode 3 more, but there's a point where she's like, oh, now I won't be able to share my dragon knowledge with my mother. It's like, bitch, you don't know dragon knowledge of your own freaking
Yeah.
mythology. Your mom would freaking slap you and disown you.
Oh man. Oh no, but then they still went, yes, she's an expert. No, whatever. That's another episode.
I am
But-
just...
So,
I can take like it's so that she's a mythology buff and she can't know the one thing about her own freaking. I can't. We're not
Okay.
talking about this now.
episode 2?
I think that this was
No,
supposed to
no,
be
hold
like
on.
a big season for June because she has her own episode and she has a bunch of other moments. But I mean, what did she accomplish by the end of this season? Like
Nothing.
she she
Keep it there.
got some
That's it.
confidence to talk to her mother, which we already saw seasons ago, and she learned to be a ninja. That's basically the extent of
She
June's
learned
character.
to be a
her and her
ninja.
mom had a moment in episode 3.
We'll get
A
there.
moment.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
A
Episode-
singular
but-
moment.
But
Singular
one more thing
moment.
about episode 1, right?
Yeah.
I can't be the only one who was annoyed. The whole thing about this was like, oh yeah, all of this Dragonite was stolen, and sorry, I'm now thinking of the Pokemon that just popped in my head. but all the Dragonite was stolen, and oh, it must be Buzzsaw, and yada yada yada. And eventually, in the end, it's revealed that it was Sledkin. However, they
You're
could have
skipping ahead.
literally. No, is that skipping ahead? Is that
You're
No, I
talking
think it
about
was at
episode-
the end.
No,
No,
that
this
was
was the
episode
end of
one.
episode 1.
The end
Yeah,
of
that's the
episode
end
1
of
is
Well,
always-
episode 1.
the end of
I
episode
mentioned
1 is we know the nest was raided for its Dragonite, yeah, but I don't think we know who did it yet until like
No,
episode
we know.
No,
we know
that
it's
was the
Sledkin.
end. Yeah,
There was a time. I think there was a small scene at the very end of
Okay.
episode
Yeah,
where it had her and
which
Sledkin.
was which was really annoying because they could have literally just shown the two characters with the bag open, but no, they explicitly had to say, "Oh yeah, this is from the raid we did last night at the Dragon's Nest. Oh man, that was such an amazing raid." It's like
that scene. I remember.
you could have just shown the bag, two characters would have been fine, but no, it had to be explicitly explained. I can't be the only one who was annoyed.
Hey, I would like to just say that these screenwriters have excellent training. Have you ever heard of the tell don't show rule?
It's a really good rule.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, sorry. I forgot that was the way it was.
And Ian's the only one who hasn't seen my season 5 review, so I hope the others have found that.
No, it's Audrey's right. Tell, don't show. Works every time.
It's a really good rule. More people should
No,
follow it.
Sorry,
I
was
can't
so
carry
annoyed
on
by
with
that.
this joke. Let's move on.
I was so annoyed by that. I just
We're
had to
killing
mention it.
HC and his you went to school for this, man. We're killing.
Yeah, I went to school for this, and every time my degree cries in the closet that you're saying that.
It's not the same
Anyway,
with watching this series. You're also crying in the closet while watching it.
no, because I guess it knows that I'm putting my knowledge to good use while we're doing this. But anyway, episode 2. So the adults are flying off to, I don't know, get
But
hired at another facility. I guess.
They're going to a hotel to do trust exercises. Why can't you do that? Never mind.
You are missing the bigger point, and I
can.
Who let you fly a helicopter? Who? Why is it?
Right.
I mean that too, but
no, I get that though. It might just be a mandatory Ray Corp thing. Like that's not. I don't.
I can accept it, but it's still weird. Couldn't they just do it here? But also, they're going to a hotel and they're flying a helicopter to get, like, I don't know about you, but I don't know many hotels that have helicopter landing pads, but fair, whatever, you know. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe I'm just not aware. I don't live in the city. Maybe there's stuff I've missed, right? I live under a rock.
I like to refer to this episode as the sitcom episode. Where,
basically,
yeah, it's just, oh, the adults are leaving for the night. We got this whole $1 billion scientific research facility to ourselves as children.
But even then we see that there are other adults still there.
Yeah,
though.
eventually we do see that. Yeah.
You know, listen. Now that Audrey said it like this is like such a Nickelodeon sitcom thing. That, you know, they are living in this freaking research facility. The adults are gone, so now they have this entire facility to themselves. Hijinks ensue. That's
hijinks ensues, and also we need to clean everything up because the parents are coming home. Oh no, I'm on the phone with them right now. They're on their way. We need to do this, and it's like I have seen this in every Nickelodeon show ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And somehow it's still walls, and somehow this has dragons and it's walls.
I mean, it's never been good, but
Yeah.
rarely has it managed to be good.
Drake and Josh comes to
Yeah,
mind.
no, that's a fair. That was the first one that came to my mind too, and that one I accept. That's the only one.
Okay, back to the thing. So this is a little thing I sent to people as I was watching it, because when they bring the dragons up. And you see those flashing colors from the window, like, are they having a rave party with the dragons?
Yeah, I thought, how do they not have epilepsy in that house? Like, my God, those lights.
Yeah.
What you talking about, man? Thunder was the one making them, yo.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, that makes more sense, actually. Yeah.
He's the alpha party animal.
Yeah, alpha party animal.
You know what, though?
Yeah,
this
he found
episode
his new
impressed me.
powers.
It impressed me because this is the first D'Angelo-centric episode in how many fucking seasons? Like, they forgot he was a character, I thought.
I think it's in season 3, I want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically, and then, even then he has to share it with Eugene. This is like, this episode is basically about the both of them being stuck in a bunker, and Eugene, for the first half of this episode, I'm like, D'Angelo, just punch him. Just fucking punch him.
I said this. Yeah, that was my same reaction. I won't lie. It's like it's okay, show. You can have him hit him. We saw Hiccup do it to Snotlout, and everybody's like, "Yeah, our boy, let's go."
Well, actually, I feel like didn't they cut at the
They
impact?
cut, but we got like
So
the
we didn't
sound
see
and
it.
like people, other characters' reactions,
The memes were not. The memes thrived, and it's still one of the best
and
parts
it
in
was
that
everyone I
It
said
is
one
was,
of the
"Yeah,
best
boy,
parts,
let's
As
yeah.
go."
someone who holds Race to the Edges gospel, it is one of the best scenes in that show.
It's fun.
Oh, it's so
good.
good.
Actually,
Force Hammer reaches
I just want
Snotman's
to
paper
say,
jaw.
Mighty
unrelated.
Hammer.
I just want to say, unrelated to this, but a few weeks ago, I happened to watch "This Is the End," which has Jay Baruchel and Jonah
Oh,
Hill.
yeah.
Oh, that's epic! Yes.
And
So good.
Jay Baruchel punches Jonah Hill, and that's it. So I filmed that clip. I sent it to Audrie
Yeah.
and told her leaked How to Train Your Dragon live action remake footage.
Race to the Edge live action. Oh my god,
And,
see Netflix do it.
Yeah, and I had to explain it to her, but then she's like, "Shit, you're right." So
Mhm.
here we go.
Oh,
So
no.
that scene is so good that it lived on even before it aired or was made.
It made me actually think of something that happened this season that also reminded me of that movie, but we'll talk about it when we get there.
Oh, I think I know, but we'll get there. So they're stuck in this bunker, D'Angelo and Eugene, and they're trying to break them out. So so they have Alex's tablet, and they're like, "Okay, let's use that." And then Eugene's like, "Let's push the red button." It's like, "Don't do it. I'm gonna do it. Don't do it. I'm gonna do it." And then it self-destructs.
Okay, who has the self-destruct app on the tablet? That's besides the point, maybe.
Alex
but like,
would.
yeah,
Alex
I mean,
Alex would.
sorry, but no, it's just a separate app.
You're not a
with
hacker,
skull
Ian.
on
You
it.
don't get it.
Okay.
I was actually kind of disappointed. I was like, oh man, that was such a missed opportunity with Alex's tablet. Like they could have had them go through her stuff, and if it was revealed that she was like stalking people at Icarus, that would have been so funny.
Yeah.
That would have been fun, yeah,
Mhm.
but that's why it's not in there.
Or that she's like, just doing like super illegal shit, just something ridiculous.
something.
Yeah.
Wait, but
Yeah,
she is
like,
already.
such
I
a
mean,
missed
yes, but
opportunity.
even more so to outside. We're doing it to Rate Corp. Who cares?
She's hacking
Yeah.
the bank.
At this point, I'm not even sure Rate Corp
corporations.
exists.
And insert joke about her having nudes of either Tom or Eugene on that iPad.
Oh my god.
Mm.
Pick your
Okay.
poison. Anyway,
I mean, maybe June. Who knows?
no.
Who knows?
Oh man. Did
I
anyone
just
else
hope-
notice that moment in this episode where June's bun disappears?
Wait, what?
Oh yeah, I did. It's
Yeah,
in my notes.
She's walking off. It happens in the middle of the fucking screen. She's walking across the ground, and halfway through her step, it just disappears for the rest of the shot. I'm like,
That one I did not
Seriously?
watch.
I did not. see that.
I guess Feathers was there, and and she made it disappear.
Yeah, just a wing just in front of the. Yeah.
So there is actually a moment which I found kind of funny when Thunder gives a bit of jolt to the control panel,
that
and
made
it
me
like
laugh.
Eugene gets hit by it, and Tom is like, okay, Eugene got a bit scratched by Thunder, but he's okay. And June actually tells him, "Good boy." Like I thought it was fun. Okay,
No, that was
there was a charming
again,
moment.
that's one of those little gems that you get. That's like, yay.
Also,
That's all I
to
get,
completely
but
ruin
yay.
it. To completely ruin it, didn't Thunder already learn from the last time he blasted an electric panel that he really should not blast that hard?
That's a good
That's-
point.
That's
Well, we
don't
did
take that out of
acknowledge that
context,
these
by the
cats are
way.
not
Don't ruin it. This is the one good moment they have. Let them have it, man.
No, can't have it. This show can't have any good moments.
Speaking of good moments, suddenly, near the end of the episode, Eugene does a 180, and he and D'Angelo actually have an honest talks about fathers and how he doesn't want D'Angelo's relationship with his father ruined, like whatever the hell is Eugene's relationship with his and June's father is. We don't know. So
Yeah.
that was actually not. And then in the end, when D'Angelo's father comes in to look what's up, Eugene takes the bullet. Eugene takes the hit, and it's like, okay, you know what? That's a nice scene. If only Eugene wasn't such a prick throughout the rest of the episode, I could have bought it.
Okay, but
Oh,
also,
man.
didn't we already have this plotline?
We do it every fucking season with
Yeah,
Eugene, and
we
it
do.
pisses me off. Because Eugene
like-
is such a complex character. Maybe if they gave him the screen time for it, or not even really screen time,
Just
because
let
he's
him-
on camera all the time, but invest in his character. Don't treat him as the punching bag all the time. And it's just, it was so frustrating. And D'Angelo is a character too. Doesn't make any sense to me. I don't really have an opinion on him because he's had so
just
few
there.
episodes dedicated to him that I don't even know him that well. But
Yeah.
he's such, I mean, he's
The-
such a fucking prude in this episode. I can't even beat around the bush. He's a
Fair.
dick about everything. He's uptight. And
Yeah.
those issues with his dad. How the hell does D'Angelo, who has a present father who loves him, cares about him, manage to have more daddy issues than Tom and Eugene combined?
Yeah, that's a good point.
He's so dramatic about everything. My dad. Tom's dad fucking abandoned him when he was a baby, and Eugene's dad is absent. You need to shut the fuck up, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Actually, speaking of, if you remember, like, this is really old school Berkcast. Like, remember Rush? This was in an episode with Rush. I brought up that there were points in Rest of the Edge where the Fish Legs episodes kind of had a routine to them. Not that it was necessarily bad, mind you, but that they had this, like, okay, he doesn't feel confident about something, then he finds the confidence. He gets more confident by the end. That was basically what they would do with Fish Legs then. So it seems that the Eugene episodes also have this thing that he starts out completely obnoxious, but then by the end he's like, all right, I learned, I think, I am better. Only here it's worse because he goes back to being a prick again. And I'd rather have someone who's not confident rather than someone being a prick.
Well, here's the issue, right? Like Fish Legs episodes, each time it was something different. Even if you could look back and say it feels like we've learned this lesson before, it was with something different, so it felt like a different lesson to some degree. The problem with Eugene is that it never feels like a different lesson, and he's always the same no matter what, because they're flanderizing him, right? And the issue with that is that it's basically, hey, here's our quote-unquote Snotlout character, except even if you look at Snotlout, right? Snotlout wasn't the punching bag all the time. There were episodes where he had his moment. There were moments in other episodes where he was good, where he was doing something. You know what? This is good for his character. He's doing something here. Or he's having an entire episode where this is good for his character. We've not seen that yet with Eugene. It's just constantly, hey, I'm gonna fuck shit up. Why would you do this, Tom? Insert the meme here with that fucking Adult Swim meme with like the guy shooting the other guy on stage. Why would you do this, Tom? After it's like fucking hell.
The thing about Eugene, and I was gonna wait until later in the season to talk about this after his episode in particular, because I think his episode this season was probably the best out of any.
Yeah,
I agree. It was really good.
Agreed.
It was really good, and
you want to save it when we get there because we're not that far from it.
I mean, the thought's there. Go for it.
Who gives
well,
a fuck
I
that
kind of
this
want to talk
episode
about it
between
now
it?
because
Sure, go
you
for it.
brought up Snot Loud, and that's mainly what I wanted to talk about. That they're trying to make Eugene this show Snot Loud, which doesn't work in the same way because yes, Snot Loud had a lot of depth to him too. He was one of my favorite characters in Race to the Edge because of that, and that's why I love that show because you get to explore the side characters.
Yeah.
But we had this predisposition with Snot Loud where he was always an asshole. He was a jerk all the time. That was just his personality. That's what we expected from him. And when he would do something different from that, it's like, okay, yes, he has depth, but he also has this default setting of always being intimidating and always being an asshole. Whereas Eugene, he's just really... Think about how they make him a jerk in this show. They make him whiny, they make him point out all the things that the characters are doing that's stupid and may not work, and he's the one who actually is kind of the audience's muse to like, this would never happen. The way this show is treating Eugene, as if he's the Snotlout of this show, is by making him point out the flaws in the 9 realms. That, to them, that is their asshole character. Like, oh, he's the one who's pointing out that this doesn't make any sense. How big of a jerk is he? He's the one making the most sense. That's
Wait.
why it pisses me off, because they're using Eugene as this punching bag, like, oh, shut up about the fact that nothing makes sense. Shut up about this. Shut up about that. Isn't he such a jerk? Everyone hate him. And it's like, no, I don't hate him. He's making sense, and you're the asshole screenwriter.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, does that
I'll
make
quickly
us
quote-
Eugene?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Honestly, again, besides Alex, he's the only one that actually riffs the show for you, and they want us to hate him for it.
My
Yeah, I'd
issue
prefer to be
comes
Alex,
with it.
actually.
It's not just that though. It's also that again, he's the one who ends up causing quote unquote the problems as well. And it's like,
That's too.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Is there like the screenwriters are like, oh
fair,
well, we
fair.
need a conflict here, so let's make Eugene do this, so the audience will hate him, and they won't take all the jokes that we're making through him about nothing making sense seriously. That is
Fair.
so disgusting to me.
Yeah.
That is literally a manipulation tactic within the screenplay, and I really hope people can recognize that.
Honestly, it kind of reminds me of what I'm doing is wrong. I know it's wrong, but I'm gonna do it anyway.
fair.
You just summed up this entire show.
There you go. Done.
The purpose of
Um,
this show.
But just going back to the episode, I only have a couple of other things that I wrote down, which one of them, Eugene's dad said that he was going to be home any minute. I said, don't worry, they'll probably crash before then, so it's okay. I love Eugene at the end of the episode. This is the point where I said I think he has multiple personalities.
Fair.
And also the screenwriter kind of had no idea how to end this episode, because it was just a sitcom ending, like, oh
Yeah,
no,
I
the
get it.
dragons escaped. You better hope we catch it or else I'll kill you. Cut to black. What the fuck?
Yeah, it's like again, they're like, oop, another dragon escape. And there you go.
It's just, it felt very out of place for this show because it doesn't normally do that.
Mm-hmm. Besides the previous season's finale, that also kind of had this sitcom ending of like, oops, it's gonna take some while to get used to, dopey dope. And
Ba, 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 ba. Yeah.
Pretty much. So that's all I have to say about episode 2. Just the
So
sitcom episode.
episode 3, the June episode. Get your 2 turns on.
So, do you guys ship Sletkin and June?
Honestly,
What? All I
Honestly,
have to
yeah.
say is I fucking told you. What the fuck did I say? What the fuck did I say last season?
no, you were right.
Her-
They have good
Her and
chemistry.
Slippage have incredible chemistry, and I was proven right by the screenwriters.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is canon. And also again, it's like everyone tells you this is not a good idea. She does it anyway.
Oh man.
And
Yeah.
and then everyone tells her that it's a bad idea. She does with it. She goes along with it. She takes Sled Bitch to the hidden world, and where she can do the entire race that she wants. And then when she's proven to be wrong, and she's throwing a hissy fit about it, by the way, she's ghosting everyone after they tell her you did wrong. And then like there's the point where she's like, I'm sorry guys, I was so wrong, I made a mistake. And Tom is like, no, you didn't do anything wrong. Shut the fuck up.
One.
No.
Yeah, you
hold
did.
this
Yeah,
bitch
I have a note written down for that point where he says it could have happened to anyone, June. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure June's the only fucking person that would happen to.
Yeah.
I
pretty
guess
much.
depending on the episode and depending on who writes it, there's a good chance maybe Eugene could fuck up, but not to this
No,
extent.
Eugene doesn't care about what people think of him.
Yeah, no.
So
Fair
I don't think it could.
Fair point.
This couldn't happen to Eugene. Maybe Tom, but that would be it.
Yeah, maybe Tom. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Tom's too distrusting. But if we could just go kind of in order of the plot for this episode, it starts out with June practicing giving her mother a speech on why she should assist her in something related to official dragon business. I don't know what she's trying to do, but she's this was probably one of my favorite parts of the season because she's giving this big dramatic thing like, okay, Mom, we're going to do this, and will you please consider me? And she's performing it in front of the other writers who are all like, yeah, you're going to do great. And Alex is standing there with the most unimpressed look on her face the entire time. She had me fucking rolling this
was great.
entire opening scene. She's like, "Oh, you crushed it," and she's no reaction. It was so good.
Again, Alex, best character in the show. She
Yes.
does the job
Sure.
for you.
And she
Yep.
doesn't even have an episode this season.
Well, you can't win it all. They gave us
But she
too
didn't
much.
have one last season either.
Yeah,
Listen,
I know.
D'Angelo
I
had to
agree with
have
you,
his
but
episode this season. We can only make room for one.
Well, 2.
Two. Okay, fair enough.
Anyway, so then there's this awkward talk between June and her mother in the elevator, which was like, talk about forced. Every time I'm like, forced.
Mm-hmm.
And then speaking of forced, Sled Bitch just happened to walk by and it's like, hey, I'm very fascinated.
Yeah.
I just want to admit that, getting to like, hey, we're in the hidden world and we're actually like, oh, let's like we're teaching someone about the dragons, an adult about the dragons, even if it's Sledkin. I don't care. At least it's like, hey, this is kind of what we were interested in, seeing modern day people learn about this shit that we kind of already knew about and do the scientists doing the science thing. Yeah, and then it's like, oh no, this is all a bad thing. Like, oh. And, none of the other scientists want to do this apparently. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah,
Very
that does
much
seem
so.
it does seem a little strange that
But even then, right?
Sletkin is the only one who's kind of right here.
But she's
More-
not even interested
more right
in
than the other adults.
What amazes me though is that she's not even interested in the dragons. She's interested in the crystal. Like, I guess I get it because the crystal can be used for a lot of things, but it's still like dragons.
Yeah.
There are fucking dragons. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
Dragons
wrong.
flying
Yeah.
around in a giant world underneath our feet, and you
Yeah, but
are
that's
concerned
normal.
about a glowing rock?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is normal now.
I mean,
This is
maybe,
normal.
there's some geologists out there crying because glowing rocks would be really cool to them, but maybe I'm wrong. But I feel like even geologists have to give it to, it's a flying dragon. That's a little bit cooler than a glowing rock. Let's be honest with
Say
ourselves.
That I never thought I would say that I enjoyed any part of a June-centric episode, but of all of the ones she's had, this is probably my favorite. For all the wrong reasons, obviously. Mainly because, and I don't think it was intentional, I really don't, but the screenwriters proved that June and the sociopathic villain have so much in common, don't they?
Yeah. Again,
And that
we
is
talked
so
about this
funny
last
to
time.
me.
Yeah, we talked about this in the previous season, and it's like, shit, I guess they listened.
Yeah, because I think in the beginning, June even has this line, or no, it was Tom talking to her about trusting Sledkin, or maybe it was D'Angelo, I don't remember. But someone said to June, Sledkin is more about herself than science. She doesn't care about the science, she only cares about notoriety. I'm like, yeah, of course June fucking likes her, because they're exactly the fucking same.
Yeah.
That's all June cares about is, oh, I want to look good for my mom. And I'm like, fuck off. And then she takes Sled Bitch down to the hidden world and is like, here's all this dragon information that I'm just giving to you. And she even says to D'Angelo, who is saying, hey, we need to like back off because she has all this information now and she's taking pictures. The whole point is that we need to be secretive about this. And June's like, well, it's not gonna hurt if she's doing it for science. She can take pictures. And I'm like, June literally threw out the entire moral message of the show that dragons need to be protected for the sake of looking good. How the fuck are these screenwriters trying to make it seem like she's the relatable character?
But
it befuddles me.
But the thing is, like, she's actually right because later on in a later episode, Tom's mom even says, oh, Sledkin will keep the secret even though she's run away. She has no reason to reveal it. And I'm sitting there like, why not? Why? What makes you think that?
I have a note for that too. It makes no fucking sense.
I do love D'Angelo's line here of she's not just breaking my rules, she's breaking my constitution.
Yeah, no,
that's pretty
good.
funny.
Yeah. So basically, Sladkin's plan, I guess, one of the experiments she does is that she takes those crystals, and the crystals are apparently driving the dragon insane to the point it just had to, spit its fire or something. It's, I think, don't, I am not saying this is the case, and Wolf and DNL probably are gonna have more to say about this than Audrie, but I think they had an extra Rescue Riders script they couldn't use, and they somehow tried to rewrite it into the Nine Realms.
What?
I haven't even seen Rescue Riders, and that wouldn't surprise me.
Because but basically, in the when Rescue Riders moved to Peacock, they had this concept that they find crystals which can either enhance or decrease or whatever they wanted a dragon's ability. I have a feeling they wanted to do something with this there, but they didn't have the time because the show was either canceled before they got.
I don't think these are the same thing personally, because the whole thing is oh, these crystals provide oxygen to the hidden world because the dragons breathe fire on it.
They could have just wanted to use it for something there, and it's oh shit, we need to rewrite it. Again,
I mean,
for the
fair,
record,
but
for the record, I'm half joking. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's
also stop trying to taint Rescue Riders.
Yeah,
I am
Rescue
not
Riders is great.
I will say that
forever.
June actually had a pretty sensible line in this episode where she says, "The adult's job is literally to explore the fissure. I think they're gonna find out about dragon stuff eventually." I'm like, wow, I think this is the first time in the entire show someone has said that out loud. It's the adult's job to explore this area, which they have not been doing. Wow.
And then they still don't.
Now maybe next season we'll actually get one of the kids saying the adults doesn't even do their own job, so might as well do that for them.
I will also say that I love the first half of this episode especially because it's nothing but fucking Tom, Alex, and Eugene hating June equally. And I loved every second of it.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm so tired of her bullshit. I'm like, yes, so is everyone. But part of me might just be projecting because I love the Tom, Alex, Eugene dynamic because they had going on in uncharted territory back in season 4, which was one of my favorite episodes of the entire show. But I'm losing a lot of hope here because they keep putting these characters together and they keep making stupid decisions ever since. Last season we had them together and Sting It On, and now again this season where Eugene fucks up with the camera and it's will you fucking stop?
With this, I'm like, as soon as he was with the phone, I'm like, he's gonna accidentally take a selfie. Yeah. He's gonna accidentally take a selfie. He's gonna and I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
And then we get to the whole conflict where Sledvich comes back up to the surface with June and she's in such a good mood and Tom comes up and is like, we found an email saying that she was about to fucking nuke the dragon world or something to that effect. And June is like, well, so such and such and such, and Tom's like, no, you need to believe us. And June's like, you think you're the first person to, or whatever the fuck, I feel sorry for me bullshit that she does every single time someone holds her accountable.
I was about to say, this was literally the same as the mountain episode. It's literally.
We don't say that. We don't talk about that episode.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. And even beyond that particular scene in this episode, June is sitting at her desk and Eugene comes in. And she's like, yeah, Tom's been sending me sincere apologies all night, but I'm ignoring him. And I'm just sitting there like, you know what? I can't believe, I don't even want to say it, but Tom is too fucking good for June. And I hate saying that because Tom's such a fucking idiot.
But yeah, in terms of the relationship between these two, yeah, you're right.
He's too good for her. And the fact that they're just like, yeah, June can treat Tom like shit and it's fine by the end of the episode. I'm nervous for the children who watch this and actually apply it to their own lives.
Listen, all we need to we just need, they're building up for it, man. They got to be building up for it. Just the June turns evil and sides with Sledkin, and that's it. Route. Let's go. Come on, please.
That's my headcanon.
Let's do
I don't think it's gonna happen.
I believe.
I would pay good money to see it happen.
Yeah, like save it for probably some fan fiction by a talented writer.
This
Who knows?
shows Johan twist.
Oh, that would be
Johan twist.
incredible.
Yeah,
You kept making fun of me,
Sludbridge-
guys.
Myths are
Sludbridge is gonna
real.
no, listen, if Sludbridge is gonna have like Assassin's Creed daggers like Johan did, I'm in.
Oh man!
That'll be
Wow.
awesome. So, anyway, so they save the dragons from Sledkin. There's a chase scene going on, and eventually June's mom, scolds Sledbridge and it's like, "You're not to do this again." And we have the bullshit resolution of like, "Hey, my parent accepts me," and which is again, June is not a dragon expert. I am refusing to admit that.
I don't even understand that because isn't Tom supposed to be the dragon whisperer?
Yeah.
And
What?
now June's like, oh, well, my mythology
Who needs
background,
that
I know
guy?
all about it. And I'm like, what does that even do? And there's even a line where Tom tells her, you have so much to offer, June. What the fuck does she have to offer? Every
What
fucking time that June has an episode dedicated to her, it consists of nothing but her shitting all over someone. In Unicorn, it was her lying to the group. In season 3 and the last season, it was her shitting all over Eugene. In Journey to the Snow Canyon, you know what the fuck happened in that episode. She was a total bitch. Only episode I think that's ever been dedicated to her where that didn't happen was Ride or Die, which by the way I would rather die. And
But
is that the full extent of every single June-centric episode? They just make her the biggest bitch, and every time it's formatted as if the audience is supposed to like her? What the fuck?
Listen,
I
June has
guess-
studied. She knows about mythology. All Tom has is a book. What has that book done for anybody?
yeah, exactly.
We'll get to this book, but I
Ugh.
guess we just
Okay,
Audrey
okay.
just brought up a good idea. I think, considering we just had this entire thing about Eugene and now with June, I think it just runs in the family.
But I want to
They-
like Eugene, though. I don't want to like June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
man.
okay, fair enough. But at the same time, it's the same thing. Every time they have an episode dedicated to them, it goes back to the same exact thing. So I guess it runs in the family. Fuck. I don't know.
But then
I'm just
also
so tired
they
of looking at June's face. I fucking hate her. I fucking hate this stupid character.
they as per usual, they still didn't do anything with the concept of her being the expert for the parents
Mm.
after this, as is the
And-
usual.
Because she's not a fucking expert. We established that.
I am honestly convinced that her mother only quote unquote accepted her or just pretended to accept her just to be done with it, to never hear from it again.
Yeah.
She doesn't want all these appointments in her schedule from a daughter. I mean, come on now.
And I just want to say, actually, Audrey mentions, Alex's face when June practices the speech by the start of the episode. That was the exact same face my girlfriend made when I described to her the plot, and she's like, "Yeah, that's basically how you do Asian parents in the most stereotypical way. Good job." So
The amount of people that have been saying that since
yeah.
we started
No,
making reviews of the show is crazy.
That's a
But
good point,
literally,
actually.
but I shit you not when I told her that she literally made the same face Alex did, like 1-to-1. It's
Yeah,
holy hell.
it's very much-
So, episode 4,
A
arguably
better episode. Probably the
Yeah.
best of the season.
Best-
Yeah, in my opinion.
yeah, best in the season, might even be one of the best in the entire show. Not that that's saying much, but
And guess
know.
what? It's Eugene centric. Who would have guessed it?
yeah,
And it's an
Would've-
episode where it's not him fucking things up as well. Like, nothing here is inherently his fault. And it's so refreshing. Like,
Mhm.
I had 2 episodes in a row where it's just all Eugene being that jackass, and it's like,
And will
but he's
continue to
not.
be.
Yeah, unfortunately. But then we get to this, and I'm like, all right, this is really good. It's a little awkward that you're doing this with Eugene and Webmaster and not Tom and Thunder, but it's probably better for it. Let's be honest.
that's actually my nitpick with it. That I think it would be better if it were Tom and Thunder. I think
I
it
don't-
would.
It would have helped Tom and Thunder. But
Not
at, at the same time, it's like Eugene needs something, man. I need
He
something
really
for
does.
Eugene.
I guess,
I need a
yeah.
break. This is the
Yep.
cool Eugene.
When this
Yeah.
episode started, I was again, if we're going back to them copying the
I
plots of
did
original
say-
shows, I was terrified that they were going to rip off the beginning of Animal House from
Same.
Writers
I
of
was-
Berk. But then,
like-
because it just starts out with Tom and June racing down a snowy hill, and I'm like, don't you fucking do it. And thankfully, the other characters come in, and I'm like, thank fucking God.
Yeah, like I remember I was like, I held something and I'm like, don't you dare, don't you dare, don't you dare. But it's like, odd but not unwelcome callback. I'll give them that.
It would have been extremely unwelcome had
If-
the other characters not been there. But
If they would have
but
done
I'll let
the
it
thing.
slide.
Let's not imagine the worst case scenario. They were there.
Yes. And Alex won because she's the best.
Mhm.
And then they happen to find the giant realm, which looks kind of cool. But again, I
It's
don't
a
know
neat
why.
concept. Like it's one of those things of, you know what? This is kind of, I want you at this point. I want you to be ridiculous with the hidden world and the 9 realms, because why not at this point? Because anything
I
else you're doing
guess-
isn't all that interesting. But it does make me wonder, like, holy shit, how big is this place?
No. We've already uncovered that this is basically just pocket universes.
Yeah, I don't.
You know.
And
And-
to me, they live in the same world Mario does with all these things. That's the most logical thing I can think of.
HC, what did you think about the entrance to the realm this time? All they do is a fade.
Yeah, I mean, might as well, right? Might as
I mean,
well.
we ripped all over last season because they just look through a hole in the ground, but I don't even think they had a structure this time, because they just
No,
walk up to
they
something in the
don't.
ice realm and it's like, hey, what's that over there? Fade to the giant realm. How the fuck did we get here?
Yeah, again, this is why I'm saying it's a fucking Mario world where you beat one level, you go to the next world, no questions asked. Once you are in the ice, now you're in the giant realm. Fuck you, we don't need to explain this.
I feel like they were like, guys, we've got this entire episode finished, but it's like, how do we get from the ice to the giant
Actually-
realm? I don't know.
actually,
Let them
no,
just take a blade of grass.
Wait. You remember how they said how people kind of compare the movie trilogy to Star Wars in a sense that like the second movie is called The Empire Strikes Back of anime movies and stuff. What do they do a lot in Star Wars? They fade to signify a transition of time. They did the same thing. Genius.
You are like threading a needle here, trying to make sense of anything.
For the record, I'm being extremely sarcastic. I don't say this as.
Oh,
as
I
an
thought you were being serious.
No, you think? No.
No, this is what he learned. This is what he learned about story writing. He just fade.
I'm just joking here.
I just take it seriously because I see so many comments of people actually trying to like figure things out that way. Like, well, this connects to this. I'm like, dude, come on. You really think that these people who don't even know the lore of their own franchise are actually thinking through all this?
Rest assured, I'm just joking here. This is not an actual
I do
defense.
personally love the people who try to do that, especially for a show like this. I find it extremely fascinating, the thought processes that go into it. But
I can say I need to get.
I do it here as a
I need
joke.
I need to get our friend Haddock into one of these because she legit loves the show because she doesn't care. So
I mean, that's
that would-
probably the best way to go about it, to be honest. When
well,
you stop
it'll
caring,
be-
it's pretty funny and fun.
But then-
Yeah.
But then again, June is her favorite character in a non-ironic way. So
Oh no. That's
I'm
gonna be
interested to
interesting.
hear why. That's all I gotta say.
Also, so this is for another day. Back to this. So that Gripple's not a bad dragon to put in here. I have to say it was nice seeing them, and
Mhm.
just an overall good episode. Like the action is actually good. The connection between Eugene and Webmaster is actually, I actually care. I was actually invested. Holy shit, they figured it out. We have a decent 9 Realms episode.
Yeah, I agree with a lot of that. The complaints I have for it really aren't like major criticisms. They're just kind of things that I was confused about. Chief of which being you can tell how limited of a budget they were on because they don't show a lot of the giants in the giant realm. They just kind of allude to them, which I think that's kind of a clever way to get around not being able to show giant dragons. But I mean, if you're going to introduce this realm of giants, but you can't show the giant dragons because of budget, then why is there a giant realm at all?
Yeah.
Oh man, imagine if they just
I
brought out a
guess because they
bewilderbeast.
probably, I'll tell you what, I think
I would have loved
I
it.
think they wanted to have like this kind of jungle episode where they would get lost between all the vines. I guess that's the reason.
What if it was?
Well,
go ahead.
sorry, go ahead,
No,
Wolf.
go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you got to say because
I-
it might have something to
I was
do
just
with.
gonna. I was just gonna.
No, you first.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna riff off of Ian's thing. What if it was Drago's Bewilderbeast is still alive?
Okay,
Oh
that is not
my
at all
God.
connected to what I was about to say.
No,
so
I'm
I regret
sorry.
not going first.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So a lot of people who watch the show have theorized that all of the 9 realms have to do with the 9 realms of Norse mythology. Which disclaimer, I don't know shit about, so I'm not going to pretend like I do.
All I know is that it's a concept, and I think we mentioned that as far as we know, there's no connection.
Well, John Telligan has responded to tweets in the past of people theorizing that and saying, interesting theory. Better keep watching. You know, like the kind of shit that he does. So I do think they're trying to adhere to it in some way. And I know that there's a realm in Norse mythology that's like the dwarf realm. And I think that's what they're trying to replicate with this. But the issue that I have with all of that is, okay, so you're limiting what you can show in this realm because of budget, but you're including it because you want to adhere to the Norse mythology. So you're respecting, the origin of the thing that you're trying to replicate. I have a problem with that because you can't even get the mythology of your own fucking franchise correct.
Yeah.
And you're trying to replicate this, a literal actual mythology that has existed for hundreds and thousands of years, and not hundreds of thousands, like hundreds and thousands of years. But you guys get what I mean.
Yes.
So that really frustrates me. Like, you can't even get the dragons correct in your own show that you're extending off of, but you're gonna try to overambitious. I don't like it.
All I'm gonna say is that if Kratos doesn't show up, I'm gonna be disappointed. If that's actually what they're going for, that was a joke that maybe some people got. I don't care. Anyway, honestly, not much to say about the episode itself. I basically said what I had to.
No, like I completely agreed. The stuff with Eugene and Webmaster is really great, really enjoyable. Like we said, like it's a little weird that it's Eugene and Webmaster and not Tom and Thunder, but I think it probably serves better that it's Eugene and Webmaster.
Also,
it would
I
help
think
Tom and Thunder, but I'm willing to sacrifice that.
And it's also like I think maybe that if it was, I'm probably giving them way too much credit here, but maybe they thought it was too much of a repeat of movie 2, with the entire
possible. Yeah. Maybe
So
they wanted to avoid that.
I give them too much credit if that was for actually being the thing,
Well,
but
and even then, yet they still do the same, but for different characters.
But I'm fine with that because it's nice to have it, right? It was really nice getting to see Snotlout back in the day with Hookfang and them growing closer and seeing stuff that they did with them.
Actually, a callback I thought of was in Defenders when Hookfang is dying and they go and they need to go to the, I forgot the Fireworm Queen.
Yes, the Fireworm Queen.
Yeah, it reminded me of that episode a bit.
Yeah. But this is good. Like this is what we kind of want to see from this show a little bit more of.
Imagine if it was.
Moving on. I guess.
Hold on.
Anything else about episode 4?
Imagine if it was Tom and Thunder, and in the beginning they just go, "Yeah, they don't really have a bond. Their bond is not great." Imagine if they did do that.
It would make sense.
Right?
Honestly, it would make perfect sense. It would.
Holy crap.
So, anything else or episode 5?
Episode 5.
So honestly, I'm honest with you. Would never in my life would have guessed that this is a sentence that's gonna come out of my mouth. But here you go. Sledkin's plan in this is basically being Bugs Bunny. She's using tunnels to
I
get.
said Minecraft.
I don't know.
She dug
both
down.
valid answers.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Nobody
when they
nobody
revealed-
making
when they
Whispering
revealed
Death
the freaking
references.
tunnel underneath her house. I'm like, so she basically Bugs Bunny that? That's how it
Through
works.
like 3 feet of concrete.
Yeah,
Which, by the
there-
way, was this is the end reference I was going to make earlier, where they spend like half the movie trying to dig through like a foot of
Oh
concrete,
yeah,
and then they end up falling through Jay and Seth. It took
yeah,
a long fucking time, but apparently they can just
yeah.
Sledkin is
And
magic.
again, that's why I said Bugs Bunny, because he can just jump into the ground. There you go. He's in a tunnel.
Yeah.
How
and-
did she dig that? How, I ask you?
Sledkin's
How?
got those gains.
yeah,
In
and how
case you
much
couldn't
time-
tell, this is easily the so bad it's funny episode of this season for me.
Yes.
But then again,
Oh, no.
I think it also has your most hated scene.
It does.
Oh.
It absolutely does. And I wouldn't even say it's so bad it's funny. It's more so ridiculous it's funny. But yeah, there was one singular scene. I was actually, and this is true, because I was kind of tweeting the entire time I was reacting to this. You may have seen some of them. But one thing I was going to tweet to John Telligan directly was, I'm actually pretty impressed by this season, because up until now there wasn't anything egregious that had happened. And I was like, I'm gonna hold out and watch a little bit longer. And thank God I did, because the second one particular scene happened, I was like, yeah, fuck that. I'm not sending shit. Can you guess what scene it was?
Tom and June.
Yeah,
The
it has
fucking
something to do with
Tom
some
and June
trees.
scene. It was so terrible. We'll get
So
into it.
listen, this was extra funny to me, because I'm not saying that they actually did this, because that is a real stretch, but it was almost 1-to-1, not 1-to-1, but almost 1-to-1, like a teen drama, a local teen drama I used to watch as a when I was a kid, early teen.
What teen drama? You've said that so many times, and I'm so curious about it.
Basically it's a high school show, right? It's a high school show, and like there's the two, like the lead boy and the lead girl are basically like having this talk. You can tell they are childhood friends and they have like a romantic connection with each other. So after a while they reconnect. So they have this one, it's like, we used to have a lot of fun as kids. And it's like, yeah, we did. And we also have a lot of fun now. We had fun at kindergarten, and now we have fun in high school. And it was like so similar to the point I'm like, no way they watched that. There's no way. If they actually did, and credit Audrie if they did happen to watch this and they took the notes. Just say thank God that they don't kiss by the end of this, because I know that will make you furious. So
Oh, I'm
fuck
looking forward
Christ.
to that episode.
I was about to say, I know it's going to happen, and I'm gonna
It's go
punch my screen. But the funny thing is, when I was reacting to this episode for the first time, it got to that scene in that moment of June, like looking at him all creepy, like brushing her hair back, and I was like, holy shit, that's terrifying. And then Hulu cut out. It gave me an error message. It fucking broke Hulu for me. I'm like, even the internet was like, no, you don't need to see this.
yeah, the internet is like, I'm aware you're going through a lot. Let's pause.
They had a
Yeah, it's
few
just
mo-
like
they had a
we don't want to be responsible for property damage. So
They had a
So-
few.
Just it's a funny bit to me that it's like it was so freaking similar. I was like, wow. So
They had a
That's the
few
thing.
moments of just characters staring into your souls on the screen, and it was like, okay, backing up. Maybe I shouldn't watch this late at night.
I
Yeah.
also, if I could just critique the whole Tom June thing for the 1 millionth time, I cannot stand that it's just, oh, we were friends as kids, so therefore we're romantically involved now. What the fuck you have not had any development together at all. You just have these scenes where it's like, oh, let's talk about this thing that happened and let me stare at you for an uncomfortably long time. And Tom's gonna cough some because he's nervous. That's it. That's all their development.
And there's no
You know what? Again,
chemistry
if
either.
they
Like,
did, if they did happen to rip off that scene I was talking about from that local show I used to watch, then they did the build up better. You can do it.
it also doesn't help that there's no chemistry between these two characters either. Like, June's
Nope.
better chemistry with Sledkin, and Tom has better chemistry with anyone else, just about.
Alex.
I thought you were going to
With
say
Alex?
just nobody.
Yeah, Alex. Hell, even
I
Eugene
was-
he has better chemistry with.
Honestly,
I'll take that.
Wolf, I'm not sure if you remember, but you shipped Tom and D'Angelo in season
I
1.
do.
So.
They have better chemistry. It's not much, but it's better. At this point, I'll take Tom and Eugene. They also have
I
better
can see it.
chemistry.
I can see it. I
Oh,
honestly
man.
can. And we're going to talk about it kind of later on, but I mean, even just the scenes that they have together in this season, which is not very many, Tom and Alex have infinitely better chemistry than Tom and June.
On next episode is all we're gonna say about that. And
Yes, they have an
Yeah.
incredible scene next episode.
So back to the actual plot. We talked about this. Let's not bring this up again. But with the rest of the things, so like we said, so Sled Bitch is basically Bugs Bunny, and she's tunneling through the hidden wall to cause explosions.
Getting more
And
of
they
those
think-
glowing crystals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then they think it's Buzzsaw, so they go pay him a visit, and he's cooking and everything. And
I like how
honestly,
that's just-
Buzzsaw is just a nothing thing in this episode. Like
I
they
just
just
love
go
it.
there.
Yo, let's have
He's
it a
only
s-
there for like 1 minute.
I love how we do
Yeah.
the whole thing of standoff. Yo, was this you? Nah, I've been over here cooking like panini bread, man. Oh,
Nah,
I-
bitch.
it's so great. It's so
I
like
think-
it just
you know, I
blew my
think they
mind
just-
of I love this standoff. This is so
like
stupid.
I think I think they might have just had Haley Joel Osment in the recording booth, and they're like, you know what? Why not?
Oh, it's
let's
just
just-
great. This was probably one of the best things about this episode. It's just the
And that's the
standoff.
other
And
thing. I think it's in this episode where he kind of has Buzzsaw kind of has the thing, and it's like, oh yeah, sure, not like he does the not joke so many times in this season, like it became a trademark.
Like, is he being written by a studio executive from the 90s?
I guess. Maybe Haley Joel Osment is trying to put in his head how Kingdom Hearts goes, and he's going nuts.
Hmm.
One of the two.
I will say that the climax of this episode was probably my favorite out of any season. If you
I
had
will-
told me at the start of this season that throughout it, Sled Bitch would get in a bomb fight with Tom, blow
Yeah.
themselves up, and then leave a group of children crushed to death and try to
Honestly,
lie about it to their parents, I would
did
not have
like,
believed
though,
you.
I did like that she was actually that she did try. She was worried. She did attempt, quote
laughed.
unquote,
it was
to
just
do something. And then she did give up really quickly, and it is freaking ridiculous. But you know what? There was an attempt was made,
but it
which
didn't-
is a lot when it comes to
True.
this show.
But she didn't like leave the facility. She just stayed. Like, my lie
Yeah.
will work. It'll be fine. It's just like,
Yeah, this is
holy
fine.
shit. I can't believe this. And then I'm a little bit.
Also,
And the
wait,
most hilarious
sorry.
part, we're not
this-
even into the part that got me to laugh the most, but we're
No, but
getting there.
this is by the way, when she did try to lie about it, it was like what, an hour or two later? They probably didn't even notice that the kids were missing still. So she was just
Yeah.
gonna say to one of the parents, like, "Oh, I'm so sorry they're missing," and they'll just be like, "What do you know that we don't?"
Also, how the are you gonna cover up the fact that you have a 3-foot gaping hole in your floor that leads down to the crash site exactly? I mean, I feel
Oh no,
like
but
you need
that's
to give
no,
up
no,
here.
no, there's a carpet over that. They don't see it.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I mean, I could believe that these people of all people would miss that.
Okay, that's a very fair point.
You know what would be hilarious?
It's like, huh,
It's like,
Your
if
carpet
somebody,
dips
if
down
she
a
just,
little bit here.
No, listen. You know what would be hilarious if she just invited someone completely unassuming to like I don't know to maybe discuss something, and then they would just go over the thing and they'll fall down the hole. That would have been hilarious.
I'll tell you
Man,
what the
that would have made
reaction
it
would have been.
full.
It would have
That
been.
would have been full Looney Tunes.
It's like, oh, we didn't
Yeah.
know you had a hole in your home. You should have told us. We'll get this fixed right away, and that would have been it.
I think even it was Phil that said, "Oh, this is not up to code." I'm like, "There's a fucking hole in the ground."
Honestly, if the kids weren't there, they would have just been like, "Oh no, that. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened. Let's just patch that."
Pretty much. We do see the return of the cavern crasher this episode, and it looks
Yeah.
derpy as hell.
Uh-huh.
It looked like that meme where it's like this famous person drawn from memory.
Oh,
Yeah.
It looked like a cavern crasher drawn from memory. Like they deleted the
Oh.
Race to the Edge model, so they had to remake it just from scratch.
I liked our
And it
derpy boy.
looks so derpy.
Like
I liked him
uh,
a little.
It also doesn't
Yeah, I
really
did
make a
like
whole
him.
lot of sense because the Cavern Crasher has never been a docile dragon. Every time we've always seen it, it's extremely hostile around humans. And it's one of the most aggressive. So seeing it be friendly, I know that D'Angelo helped it, but it just let him walk up to it and like go up to its injured leg. And I'm like, that wouldn't fucking happen. D'Angelo would be in pieces right now. And it was all for the sake of Deus Ex Machina later, which I do like the Cavern Crasher's inclusion there and how it helps them out of the cave. But
yeah,
it didn't make a lot of sense.
it was. I think it was the wrong dragon to use. If we're going by that
In that
logic, I
situation,
think.
yeah. But like,
Uh,
I can't think of any that would fit as well.
Hmm.
I guess they
Like,
could make a new one. They do that a lot. But,
Yeah, they could have made a new one. I don't know. Anyway,
I'm
anything-
tired of new dragons.
anything else, or can I just mention the funniest thing that got me in this episode?
Go for it, because
You haven't mentioned it yet.
It was so. This is like literally near the end. So, Sled Bitch is walking with Linda, right? And there's the point near the end where Linda just jumps into her truck, and she drives away. And D'Angelo's father is like, "Hey, wait up!" And he starts running after the car. Yeah, sure. I'm sure you're gonna catch up. Go, you, Sonic the Hedgehog.
I love
Get that
how
car.
twice in this show, right? Our heroes and everyone are thwarted by a shut door and getting it locked, and like that's how she gets away both times.
Can I
Yeah.
just
I-
point out something? Which is this woman, this grown woman who's has like bunch of degrees. She's a doctor, scientific explorer, world famous. She blew up a group of children and then left them to die and tried to lie to their parents about it. And then when she was caught, got in her car and got the fuck out of there to avoid consequences. And 2 episodes ago, this was the woman that they were like, yeah, don't her and June have so much in common?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
I just want to point that out.
Yeah.
In a future episode, June is gonna completely bury the parents of
This is just
facility.
this is us getting a look into this is what it would be like if villains had dragons before we realize they're villains.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, man. Would
And I
June
also
also
did not understand the line of we talked about this a little bit earlier,
We
where
did.
Olivia said, "Don't worry, Wilma will keep the secret. She wants credit for discovering Dragon Sight."
Yeah.
What the fuck does that even mean? That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense. She won't tell the world about dragons because she wants credit for discovering a
Yeah,
crystal.
if anything, if she wants credit, she will be the one to expose the secret first.
Exactly.
Maybe maybe I'm an idiot and I don't understand the scientific community, but I feel like
No, you're not an idiot. You're not an idiot. The people who wrote that line are an idiot, okay?
No,
just-
if anything,
I
I think we just don't understand science because again,
Yeah, maybe not.
we think the scientists are actually walking and stuff. These people don't do anything besides, I guess, drink beer and jerk off on this freaking remote island all the time. I guess we
man.
just
They
don't understand
hadn't-
the walk.
But no, you don't understand. She hasn't finished her paper. She can't do the discovery of her found the
But it
paper
just-
first.
It blows my mind, right? That like, let her go. She's not gonna reveal anything. I don't know. If that was me, I'm like, I have video evidence.
She
I
has
can just hear
pictures on her phone. She could just like go to Twitter and tweet it, and that would be it.
No. Her phone has a broken screen. It's completely gone.
Motherfucker, don't with me right now. This shit pisses me off. This is the thing.
It's just so ridiculous. It's like they needed a reason for the audience to not worry, or even for like anything to happen. Like, no, the show's not going to end here because someone who knows the secret and has evidence of the secret got away. When it absolutely should. Like, there's no getting around that. There's no excuse, especially not the shit one that you gave.
Yeah. I mean, it's even then, right? Like, we know where this is going now because they're going to do this whole thing of like, oh, the dragon sight's needed to keep the hidden realms oxygenated and have oxygen down there so things can grow and so the dragons can live and survive. And like, oh, we found dragon sight, we're going to mine it all out and that's going to kill the dragons. Maybe we shouldn't do this thing, because protecting the environment for the dragon, that's the story we're going to go with. And it's kind of like, that's fine, but it's like, I feel like the dragon sight's not the important thing here. Like, I feel like, if I was a scientist and I discovered glowing rock that helps dragons live underground, I think there's a scale here, and I think the scale's leaning very hard one way, and it's not the glowing rock way. Just my opinion. There's some people out there who might be super interested in the glowing rock. Completely fair. I'm over here though with most of the other people. The glowing rock, we can talk about that one later. I think this thing is more important. Just personally.
So, episode 6, almost there.
Almost.
Oh, thank God.
Oh.
So,
this is another episode where I just, where are the adults? Because it's like, hey, we're bringing in a dragon into the ER basically, and we're like, he's poisoned, and no one's around.
No, they probably just told the parents, and they're like, all right, they're just playing the game.
So congratulations, show. You went on from, having a Race to the Edge callbacks to having actual Race to the Edge callbacks, because this is basically an enemy of my enemy and triple crust combined.
Man, let me tell you, when I first saw what they were doing, where they were setting up the episode to do that, I'm like, if this replicates triple cross, I am going to slit my wrists. Like, you cannot.
Yeah, I'm the same. Like, for the record, both Triple Cross and Enemy of My Enemy are like some of my favorite episodes in the entirety of the original shows. So I'm like, don't you dare. And for the record, they actually want to know my favorite scenes is in this episode. When Tom actually tells Alex, as a kid, I had everything. I've been all over the world. I've done so many things, but none of it matters when Thunder is in danger. Like, Thunder changed my life. He means to me. It's like, holy shit, we have a good writing moment here, and of course it's with Alex because fuck,
she gets all the good stuff.
Because June wouldn't fucking care.
Yeah.
June would be like, "Oh, boo-hoo! You
ain't just whistling Dixies there, Ian." Oh man, I have a whole note where I'm like, "Oh look, Tom and Alex having 1,000 times better chemistry than Tom and June again." She even lets him take Feather. She's like, "Whatever you need, do that." I'm like, man, June would be such a bitch. She wouldn't even care probably.
Yeah.
I'll go with you. You can ride on Wei, not Woo. But he said come alone or he won't get anything. Like, no.
I don't care.
I don't care.
My dragon is more important than your stupid... Yeah. I can already picture it.
It was adorable that she did that. Like, it's great. It's a wonderful moment. And it's not a terrible episode overall.
I can't give up hope. I can't.
It's the only thing.
I need Tom and Alex to get together. It's the only thing that will save this show.
Yeah, and also, so we have this entire thing about, would Thunder survive? And then, Tom is actually ready to make the exchange, to get the cure for Thunder. And honestly, this entire thing just kind of like ended up with whatever. I guess Thunder is okay after he ate that thing. He's good now. And the only Bassa got the book. That's it. That's the only thing of importance which happened.
No. our boy was revealed in the
All right,
book.
you know what? You know what? Up until this
Oh,
point,
yeah.
I had always wondered, like, I wonder, about a year ago, they were probably working on seasons 5 and 6. I was like, when am I going to see a scene where I'm like, man, I bet they're calling me out directly. And it wasn't until this episode where I'm like, that might actually be a possibility.
I think I this on Twitter. Like I think it was Razorblade who like tagged you in this or something with a screen cap of it. There was something, and you're like, oh shit, I called it, or I
No, that
remember.
was me. I posted the clip because I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Okay.
was
So
great.
I missed it, but basically, yeah. So and again, like, no, this guy looks like a king. We never acknowledge this again in this season.
Yeah, it was just like a 2-second moment. I'm like, I had to stop for a second. I looked around and I'm like, are they actually calling me out? Which, okay, I'm being dramatic. I know they probably weren't, and I probably just was able to read it the entire time because it's very obvious that they were doing a Dagger the Deranged thing with him. But I can't help but feel like, man, a year ago, they probably were working on this season in particular, and that's the same time that my season 2 review came out. It was also around the time I started talking to John Telligan. I'm like, man, just maybe.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But let's be honest. I think we all kind of knew when Buzzsaw came in that he was gonna be like the dagger. But and again, kind of a late time to play on it, especially when they don't do anything with it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just I love how Throw's book opens on page of Dagger and like, yeah.
That I was not expecting. Like, yeah, we were expecting him to be Dagger of this show, but I wasn't expecting him to have a book and open it and it be a picture of Dagger staring back at the camera like, get it? Yeah, we got it.
Well, considering they thought Tom being Hiccup's descendant was such a great twist for 5 seasons, I guess they needed to make sure that we would get it because that was a completely unexpected twist that we didn't see coming. I'm being sarcastic for the record.
I would have hoped so. Yeah.
We just need everyone else to have their moment of get it. They're this character.
Also, should I ask the obvious question of why would Hiccup draw Dagger with weapons?
He was reminiscing. He was doing the draw.
That's his brother, yo. Come on, you got to give your brother some respect.
Yeah, true.
Again, I think he was doing the draw from memory challenge, and he did better than.
He did do better.
The people who made the show.
Well, he even did better than his own gang of friends that he took along on the Dragon.
Yeah, actually,
that is true.
Yeah,
that is extremely true.
No. For them, he was doing the draw it in your style challenge. Completely.
I see. He was trying a different style.
Yeah.
Did anyone else catch the line where Thunder gets poisoned and they bring him to the infirmary and D'Angelo's like, I'm going to try to give him speed stinger anti-venom because Olivia and Alex's moms helped develop it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, listen. Olivia is a geologist, so I have some questions.
Don't you know all science is the same?
Well, look, here's the thing.
Geology.
You said they needed to pay more attention to the dragons and not the rocks, and now she does, and now it's wrong.
It's true. I did. It's true. So you got me there.
This is what you wanted.
It is true.
You know what? It is kind of what I wanted because I made a big deal in my last season review saying if it's revealed that D'Angelo makes this anti-venom, I'm going to laugh my ass off. And he didn't, at least. I don't know what Alex's moms do, but the fact that Olivia had her hand in it, I'm kind of worried.
Okay. You know what, Audrie? You say that they call you out with the stuff you say in the videos. What if they ADR'd it, like at the very last minute because they're like, shit, she's onto us. And they're like, Olivia and one of Alex's moms did it. Yeah, there you go.
At the very least, D'Angelo's mom, she's the one who takes care of people when they're in the infirmary, so she would make the most sense, but no.
Yeah.
All right,
Olivia.
I thought D'Angelo doesn't have a mom for a second. I completely forgot she's a
No.
character in the.
She's there. We see her a few times this season. She gets
I
no lines.
forgot that she's even in here.
She doesn't do shit. That's why.
There you go. I forgot she's a character. Holy shit.
The same with Alex's moms too. She has moms. I know. It's surprising.
Yeah.
No, that I remember.
We don't see that. We see them too. They get no lines.
Didn't they get lines? No, they didn't.
No, they didn't. To
and
be
this
fair,
isn't-
even Tom's mom didn't get any lines. I think June's
It
mom
doesn't
had more
get-
lines than
it's
any
not
parent.
No, she get the best line, but we'll get to it in the next episode.
Oh. I must have
So,
forgotten.
season finale.
Yeah. I have-
Yeah, I'm trying to think of if there's anything else, but
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, just
honestly,
mainly
not-
the triple cross thing that pissed me off the most.
it-
They almost go through with it, where it's like,
Yeah.
I poisoned your dragon, so you will give me this thing, and then you do the thing, and it's like, ha, there was no poison at all. The only difference is triple cross was a million times better, and it's like, oh, he was
Yeah.
manipulating Hiccup because Toothless was never poisoned, and that's totally something that a mastermind like Vigo would do. Here, it's just Buzzsaw's a psychopathic idiot, and how did he even get this poison? How does he even?
He's-
Also,
He's just-
Honestly, okay, this is a headcanon that what he cooked with Ford and the other guy and Winston in the one episode where they just chilled there, that's the poison. As far as I'm concerned, that's
They
the
were-
poison.
They were high as fuck, yo.
Jesus.
Yeah,
So, also, completely at the end, why did they give those slugs to his henchmen?
I mean,
I
because
mean, honestly, they could have just been like, that's
Because
two people less
we're
to
not-
worry
we're
about.
not-
all them-
we're not.
to kill
D'Angelo's not Junie, and we're not murderers.
Okay, fine. Then why didn't they take them to the surface? Like, they literally could have pulled them out of the hidden world, be done with them. I don't.
I feel like the kids could be done with Buzzsaw at any point. They know where
Yeah.
he is. They know they're way better on dragons than he is, but they just choose
They
not
literally
to.
found him in a previous episode. He's just chilling out there making bread, and they're like,
Yeah.
just had a standoff with him and then left him. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, they could deal with him, but he's
Why?
fine.
Oh,
not hurt anything.
is that oh no, that's next episode. Never mind.
Yeah, so season finale, episode 7. I just want to say, I just love that literally, there's no way around this, that Buzzsaw literally shoves the Book of Dragons up his own ass.
Yeah, I was gonna mention this. Yeah.
Like, because he
Literally-
does the animation of like putting this in, and then the camera cuts to his back and the book is not there. This book is in his ass. You can't tell me otherwise.
So funny. So funny. Literally, not even a different cut. It's literally
And you
the
know,
next
again,
cut.
and I guess that this is something that cartoons do, but you know, when you do this with something like, again, either Looney Tunes or Disney or something, these are cartoons that you know, they are animals that don't look like the actual animal. This is a human being.
Oh man.
It's a bit different.
Besides, I don't feel like they immediately cut to the characters back that
Well,
just did it.
You know, you can like people
but
talked about
they
the
cut
whole like
close.
pocket dimension thing, right? That you can see in cartoons from time to
Ah.
time, and it's one of those things of like you've seen it in Riders of Berk, Different Berk way back when the kids would like, hey, Astrid pulled out her axe out of nowhere, but they would never cut to a point where you could see where the axe would have been pulled from, and there's nothing there, right? They always
Yeah.
keep it at an angle where she pulls the axe out, and you can kind of just suspension of disbelief it. But no, here we actively cut to where Buzzsaw would have placed the book, and it's like,
Yeah, it's not
okay,
that-
that
Yeah,
was
that's
not
what I
the
meant.
greatest of angles you
I-
should have
you know,
chose.
Any fan there, maybe I'll do it myself if I have the time, but I just want someone to take this in and actually have like a sound effect there of like boop, when he puts it in there.
Oh,
Don't worry,
That's
I got you.
I was about to
Okay.
say, Audrey, that's an idea.
By all means, Audrey, that's on me.
Oh
man.
no, something to
Please
look
make
forward
it
to.
really juicy as
Oh
well.
no!
Really?
Stop.
It's
No,
probably
like,
not the worst thing I've done in my videos.
No, listen.
In my season 5 review, I kidnapped myself, so I don't think
Yeah.
that it'll be that out of
There
the.
you go.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, maybe I should watch it now.
Yeah, and she also auditioned herself for a How to Train Your Dragon porn parody.
Yeah,
by
I did that.
accident.
It was an accident.
I
guess
love
it's
how
not the worst
I
thing.
love how as I said that both Ian and Wolf just completely went silent. They're like,
Yeah, that's
I had to think
the
for a minute.
that's my effect
Yeah.
on people.
oh shit, Audrie, I forgot to tell you. Some of my someone in my real life group of friends actually linked me this video, and it's like, you think she would have been a good Astrid? She did audition, and I'm like, do I tell them? Do I tell them?
That was
Oh, no.
we've gone off topic, but that was the whole point of that video. I wanted to make people think that I actually did, and that's what the whole first third of it was like, yeah, this is a serious thing. And then
So
no.
there you
the
go.
rest is history.
So someone actually believed it, and they linked it to me.
A
as-
lot of people believed it. I went in the comments and there were people like, "Oh, I hope you get the part. I bet you'd be really good." I'm like, "Did you not watch the fucking video?"
Oh,
I
man.
could not have made it more clear it was a joke if I had painted it across my forehead.
Oh, man.
Well, at the same time, you thought I'm serious about the Star Wars fade, so sometimes it's
My
okay.
entire life
Yeah.
is YouTube comments. I can't help it.
Oh, no.
So anyway,
They're in my head.
Yeah.
Back to the episode. So this is basically another version of the episode with the submarine pearl from Rest of the Edge.
I put Dire Straits on meth.
Either of those two work.
And the thing is that, again, we talked about in the beginning. Oh, there are Tom and Thunder moments, and so how fitting is that they basically do the one episode which is famous for one of the best Hiccup and Toothless moments in the entire franchise, bar none, and they cut that, and they don't even have the decency of trying to get that part in there.
I don't know, man. I feel like I'd be more offended if they did.
Maybe, I'm not sure. Honestly, it's pick your poison. It's a pick your poison moment. Honestly, but I don't know. I don't fucking know. Okay. The dragon kind of looks cool though, I guess.
I did
yeah,
really
it's a
like
cool
the dragon.
dragon. Yeah, it's a cool dragon.
I don't really know why it's called the Octofin. I was expecting
Because-
like an octopus, but
No, it has like
It has like an
8
octopus
things on its
tail.
fin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Honestly-
but like the rest of it is,
a crocodile.
yeah.
Honestly, is it bad that the only thing when I saw this, I'm like, it's called an octo whatever, but it's a crocodile. And I'm like, the only thing I could think of is that joke in Sonic Boom where they say, prepare to be destroyed by burn bot. So is he gonna burn me? No, he has claws. It's like, so why call it burn bot? That's false advertising. Only that was supposed to be a joke because that's an actual comedy. This is real. This is supposed to be legit.
Well, I mean, Octofin isn't an inaccurate description.
It
Oh,
has
no, wait.
fins and it has an octopus tail.
Yeah, I guess they should have called it Octotail.
Octotail.
Oh,
That
well.
sounds- honestly, it's not. Now I'm thinking of Octodad for some
Meh,
reason.
name aside,
Octodad.
it's still a cool design at the very least. Like, you know
Oh,
what?
it's a
This
cool
one,
design.
It's a
this
cool
one's
dragon.
this one's all right.
And the name, we're just nitpicking at this
No,
point.
that's
It's not-
fair. That's this show. That's what we do.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So again, there's this now. If we are going to talk about something that doesn't make sense, is Tom is still freaking persistent on not telling anyone what's happening in the hidden worlds. Like, dude, you
Oh,
revealed
yeah.
the secret to everyone there. You could ask for a submarine, for fuck's sake.
Well, no, but then they can't explain why they need the submarine because the
Tough
lunatic
shit.
is down there. Yeah, that was
Very
something.
little written down for this episode because this was the only one I couldn't get around to rewatching a second time. The only notes I have are, why is Eugene an idiot again? Octofin is
Yeah.
cool. These swimming animations suck balls.
Mhm.
All the big bad dragons in the show make the noise of the Red Death from the first movie.
Oh my god,
and
they
the-
do.
and
I
the-
didn't have noticed.
And this entire season was the kids shitting on D'Angelo LMFAO.
Also, quick note: can just all dragons breathe underwater now?
I
Is that a
guess.
thing?
To be fair, they said, they were very clear, like, they can't do it for very long, and then they were in the water for a while, question mark?
For like 3,
I don't
4,
know,
5 minutes.
I think, in the original franchise, they could hold their breath for quite a while. I don't remember, like, a moment where it was, like, an immediate danger,
Yeah.
but...
I don't know, in terms of, like, things I care about for this episode, right? This ranks low on the list. You know
Also, I'm
what?
pretty
I can, like,
sure-
meh that. I was way more
No,
upset with
besides-
Eugene
no.
again, and it's like, man, I
Oh.
was liking you again, and you did this stupid shit. Why? Why, show
Yeah,
writers?
fair
Why
enough.
do you do this to my boy? Please.
And again, the main note I have here is that it's not a terrible climax or an episode in general, but it's like, again, it's Race to the Edge did it better. Like everything beat to beat. Oh, but one thing Race to the Edge didn't do is that it didn't end on the most pathetic of cliffhangers.
Listen, what they needed to do, and why they don't do this more often, I don't know, but what they needed to do is it needed to be Tom, Alex, and Eugene in the sub, and then D'Angelo and June up top. That way, we just,
yeah.
like, I love you, D'Angelo. You're cool. You're great. But they've not done a lot with you. And as Audrey said, this was just your season to get shit on. We all have to take our hits. So just give us the 3 good characters in the sub and focus on them and just leave those 2 up top. And it's okay. We don't need them.
Well, they've been doing that more and more. And like I said, I wish they would do different things than have have Eugene, Alex, and Tom make the dumbest fucking decisions when they're together.
Yes, I agree.
It would have made for a very entertaining episode. I'm sad they
Yes.
didn't do it too.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Oh man.
the big reveal of the season, Buzzsaw is now revealed, and we know there's a big bad guy in the hidden realm, and he came and destroyed Rate Corp. Ooh.
Man, just
Yep.
shoot him. Like, just come on. Someone's gotta have a gun on that
how
base. Just
didn't
pull out a
they?
gun and fucking shoot him.
Yeah, sorry, how didn't they?
I
It's like,
don't know.
The submarine has rockets. Nothing. There's no
That's
other
true.
weapons. Only,
Just
only the
kill
submarine.
Buzzsaw. He's such a thorn in the side. What is he even doing? Like,
Yeah,
he's
like-
been in that hidden world for months at this point. No one's gonna fucking know he's gone.
Yeah, and like again, they played up, but you knew this lunatic was here, and you didn't. Didn't Olivia and Sled Bitches see Buzzsaw in season 3? They
Yes.
know he's there, and they didn't give him any thought because they thought he
That's
was
true.
crazy.
That is true. They did know already.
Yeah.
And they completely
Yeah.
ignored
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
completely.
Olivia knew.
And then again, so suddenly now he's the king of dragons as he fancies himself, and it's like, what the fuck is he gonna do? Like, what is this cliffhanger? What are we even cliffhangering on?
I made a note saying this before, but like I knew that this King of Dragons plot with him was going to be so, first off, not explored, and second, stupid. Why does he want to be the King of Dragons? He just said it in one episode a couple of seasons ago, and now it's like gospel to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It
and
makes no sense. What does that even mean? What is he talking about?
I feel like
You
that
know-
might have been the thing that was ad-libbed by Haley Joel Osment, and they're like, yo, that. And that's as far as they got. And it's just been like, yo, that for the rest of it.
It might have
and
been.
but I just want to say that literally a bit before recording, I was talking to my friend Jaya. She's been on the podcast a few times. She said, one, we're poor souls, and she would feel pity for us if we didn't put ourselves into this torture. So thanks, rubbing
Hey.
your salt on the wounds here.
Hey,
But
the
two,
fa-
she
the-
did mention, didn't you say this is the last season? I'm like, nope. I was theorizing. This is not the last one. And she's like, why? What stops them from ending it on this? on this season, and I'm like, there's a cliffhanger ending. But considering some shows did end on the cliffhanger, imagine if this is where the show stopped.
Oh my god.
That would
I'm okay
that
with
would
that.
change.
Yeah, I'd be happy with it. Yeah, sounds
Man.
good. Sounds
I've been
good,
trying
actually.
to theorize how much longer this show is going to go on. I feel like they need at least 2 more.
Like
Right?
I could see 2 more.
they would be 2 more, I think, because they are going with the idea of like each 2 seasons is 13 episodes. So so I think they will get at least 2 more, and hopefully they are the last one. And also, how much more are they gonna drag this now that the dragons are actually out and about and everyone knows about us? I think that's it. 2 more seasons. That's my bet.
No, I think they're gonna stretch it until a live action movie.
Oh
They
god.
need some. They need something to keep it alive.
And you know, I would say not a lot of time since then, but then again, they fought these seasons out like I don't know.
That's
what,
at least 4 more seasons,
True.
Uh,
Now,
at least.
I
I've
will
had people say to me, like, what would you do if in the live action How to Train Your Dragon at the very end they flash forward and it's Tom? And I'm like, I would kill myself. I don't know what you want me to say.
Holy shit! I mean,
No,
to be honest, we'd
imagine-
also probably already
I can
found
just
out.
imagine. No, so I can just imagine Dean getting like a studio note about connected to the Nine Realms, and it's like, the fuck is the Nine Realms?
Oh no, he knows.
Yes.
He knows.
I don't
what
know,
it
man.
is.
I don't think he. I think he avoids it.
Actually,
I feel like he'll just
I think
deny
he
it
knows-
exists.
For the record, I think he knows it exists, but he doesn't know what's happening in it.
Oh no, absolutely not. He's probably seen the posters and just denied it ever happened.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah.
Same.
That's his
Dean
child.
Oh
will-
man.
Dean will love you in case you're watching, and I do want to believe in you for the remake.
I
There
do.
is one nitpick that I would still like to say about this episode.
Sure.
And that's not how electricity and water works. I mean, at one point,
I know.
Thunder fully engulfs himself in electricity and shoots it. I don't feel like that's how it works.
I stopped paying attention to the realism of Thunder's lightning ability
Considering-
after Tom had a literal Harry Potter wand that he shot lightning from. So I don't really.
Oh wait, that's
that
back.
happened one
The
time
one
this
is
season.
back in
actually.
No, it
this
happened a
season,
couple of
wasn't it?
times.
Yeah.
It makes several
Just a couple?
appearances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
Yeah.
it only I thought it only shot lightning.
No,
one
he did it
time.
in episode 1, and I think again in episode 4.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
okay.
did. He did.
Yeah, it
He
was
does
in
have
episode
this.
one,
It is
Yeah.
literally like point and shoot, and electricity comes out of it. That is a fucking Harry Potter wand.
Yeah. No.
Pretty cool.
Oh my god, I would have just loved that. I know it's not. I know it's not the same, but considering it's lighting, I am just in the scene in the first episode where it's like, I'm not Hiccup. I can do it. Like when he has the self-doubt moment. I would have loved if they just cut to freaking Odin from Thor Ragnarok. Are you Thor, the god of hammers? Or like, are you
Oh,
Thor, the god of light?
no.
And then Tom would just start shooting lightning.
Oh my god.
That would have been amazing.
Oh,
But apparently, the show doesn't want to do amazing. So yeah.
a thought to end that I'm going to end with. Something occurred to me. We didn't mention this, but Eugene has been talking about how he needs a cool item too, right? And like they're like,
Yeah.
Eugene doesn't need an item. Everyone in the show, all the other characters in the show. Oh, if they find Hiccup's old sword and Eugene gets it.
No. No.
You know what?
no.
If any person had it, I would want it to be Eugene.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh,
Him, I'm okay with getting
But
it, to be
also, you
honest.
need
I don't know.
I would say that Hiccup did kind of destroy Inferno in the climax for movie 3, but then again,
wouldn't bring that shit back.
yeah, but
They
but
would.
then again, I am saying, but I was about to say, then again, they don't really care about what was destroyed in the original because they're destroying the original themselves. So,
It's very true.
Ooh.
Although Alex was in favor of Eugene having an object.
yeah,
Because she's smart.
She vouched for him.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, pretty much everyone, well, not everyone, but I mean, Tom has his his lightning sword. June
Harry
has
Potter
a
wand.
Oh.
shield. Yeah, the Harry Potter wand. June has
Yeah.
a shield. Everyone in my comments was like, "That's Hiccup's shield." I'm like, "No, it isn't." She
Mm.
painted a mist twister on it. And
Yeah.
I forgot to mention this back in whatever the episode was where she fights the two henchmen. I think it was episode 6. But have you guys noticed that she's just kind of become the equivalent of that anime kid? Don't fuck with me. I have the power of God and anime on my side.
Yes.
Oh no.
She's
I
like doing
love it.
flips and not
Oh.
even
Oh my
Like
God.
there's
doing
no,
anything.
there's
The only time this season as well.
and there's no
In the
like
show,
explanation
maybe.
for how she knows how to do it either. It's just
Yeah.
she can do that now.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no,
She's fought shadow demons.
She has the power of God and anime on her side.
Yeah, no. What you think when she plays Final Fantasy XIV? All the level ups are in the game. No. She experienced this in real life. She gets the abilities from the game.
Yeah, I mean, Winger is now at level 59, and June is way above that.
Did you just say Winger?
Oh wait, did I say Winger? I meant Thunder. Crap.
Winger be praised.
Winger be praised. Oh man. I mean, according to you, they're both as one-dimensional as the others. So I mean,
You know what? In my rage, I think I hate June more, but it's not that much of a close competition. Like it's a close competition. It's
man.
I think it might be Stockholm syndrome at this point, but Thunder might be growing on me a little bit.
I felt bad for him in episode 7 when they kept dropping that giant machine on him.
Yeah.
yeah,
That was pretty funny.
Actually, you know something? I forgot to mention when they keep dropping that machine. I was sure that this is how they were gonna do like the Toothless's missing tail thing. I was sure they were
wow.
gonna head in that direction.
Just like that, just
No.
from a side thing like that. Holy shit, that'd be amazing.
Crap.
Uh,
No, but then
It was-
the next episode he'd have it back. So
Yeah.
you know.
For a
why
second,
didn't you
though,
know
I-
Thunder has
oh,
like super regeneration all of a sudden because that's a
Yeah.
power of nightlights.
No. Here's the thing: Toothless had that happen to him. So the next generations, right? It just slowly.
they evolved.
Yeah, they evolved to.
Well,
you
when
know.
you think about it, Toothless is the original cyborg dragon, kinda. So
Original cyborg. Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
It's true.
yeah, well,
It's true.
I feel like cyborg is a little more. But yeah, sure. For a cyborg dragon.
with that positive note, I actually, if we are talking about this, I don't care if Tom ends this show by losing a limb, but be like, okay, I'm good with this.
Oh my god. No.
I don't know about that.
Audrie, this sounded like a yelp of pain. I'm not sure. Is it a good? Is it a good?
No, it's
reaction?
not.
I think
Okay,
you physically hurt her.
I know that they would fuck it up. And they would
Ah.
make it really disrespectful, so no, I have to disagree.
Mhm.
Oh no, it'd be the
Tom
last thing.
feed
they do.
Hiccup's leg to a snow race 2 seasons. If they actually do the missing limb thing after that shit, I will.
Yeah.
I don't even. Man,
Oh
I
yeah,
swear
I
to God.
forgot. I forgot that
Fair enough.
happened.
Yeah. How? How did you
You-
forget?
Oh
You
my
can't
god.
We will not forget. No, we forgive.
No.
Oh man.
I keep forgetting that Ian hasn't seen my season 5 video where I play it 25 times so the audience doesn't forget.
You
that it
actually-
happened.
Oh, I haven't yet. I don't want to now. You keep giving me reasons to watch it and then reasons to not watch it. I'm very conflicted.
Mission accomplished.
Oh
Mhm.
man. I also still haven't
Well-
watched the 4-hour Astrid special.
Wow, there's a box quote for 9 Realms for you. You keep giving me reasons to kind of want to watch it, but also reasons to definitely not want to watch it.
Oh man, I feel so conflicted. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
Well, at the same time, anything else to say about this? Or
You know,
hopes
I
for the-
think you guys have convinced me that this was one of the least worst seasons. This was
Yeah.
one That was okay.
Like, there's things about it that I like a lot more than all the other seasons so far. So, like, this is probably the first time it felt like, all right, the bar is. I don't know if it can get any deeper in the ground, but you managed to step over it this time.
Well, Sled can sure as hell manage, so who knows?
That's a good point.
Man.
You know, for me, yeah, I mean, I've said pretty much everything I had written down, but this season, easily the least offensive, least worst. But that's not saying anything because
Yeah, it's like
season 5 was just a major insult to the audience's intelligence, and season 4 was flat out disrespectful. So the fact that they didn't have anything egregious this season, aside from like the Tom June moment, was impressive, but it shouldn't have been. It should have been way more than that.
as we said plenty times throughout this, too little, too late.
Very much.
I guess.
If we continue this kind of quality for however many seasons are left, then I can at least say, you know what? We ended on a all right note.
But at the same
That's about as good as you get.
But at the same time, this is still 5 seasons of terrible that you need to get through. Something.
Oh no, okay, getting to this season, fair enough, yeah.
Would you say that it was 5 seasons of terrible terrors?
Boo.
No, I wouldn't
Better
say
shock than anything in the...
Fair enough. Yeah, all right.
So
do you think, as one really final note, do you think that Tom is just awkward around June because really deep down he likes Alex way more?
I hope.
You know what? That's what I tell myself to make myself feel better. And in my own headcanon of the show, yes.
Imagine.
I feel like Tom, okay, I know we're done, but Tom acts like he can't fucking stand June half the time. And the fact that they're pushing it so hard is so funny to me.
You know something? I mentioned before that that my girlfriend keeps making fun of me that me watching this show is like me having a BDSM relationship with it. These Tom and June are a fucking BDSM relationship. They're dropped.
Oh wow.
It very much.
That was a big drop.
They don't seem like they fucking like each other. They
don't.
No, like I agree with Audrie. It very much feels like it's that type of relationship where I kind of realize my childhood friend likes me, but I don't like them, and I don't want to be rude and tell them that, but I don't know what to do. Kind of. It really does feel like that from Tom's perspective, and it's kind of like they've just done the chemistry so poorly for both of them that it's.
No, they're in love. Don't you see? Because the screenwriter typed words onto a page, and then the voice actor said those words, and then they animated 2 people saying those words, so they're in love.
I don't know. They just said they had a nice childhood.
I'm old. I don't get the young people love anymore. So maybe you're right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all above 20. So I'm pretty sure. Oh man,
I don't have anything else to say. You know what, you ended on a cliffhanger that's honestly kind of lame, but all right. You proved that you can at least can't piss me off more than you already did, shows. So whatever. Let's see what else you got, but please end already. I can't take this.
Let's see each other for season 7. Yay!
In 1 month.
In 1 month. No. Audrie, if you just wait to put out your review for this season, it seems like every time you put out a review, a new trailer comes out. So can you just indefinitely delay it? That'd be great.
Yeah, I remember because I finished watching her review for season 5, and then I'm like, okay, this was the thing, and then the next day it's already like season 6 reaction.
Man, I didn't even want to make that video. I was in the middle of my live action How to Train Your Dragon audition, and I literally had to stop everything just to react to that shit. I was pissed.
I still expect season 7 this year, by the way.
And the trailer was fucked up again for this season.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
We didn't even
Yeah,
talk
it was
about
like-
that.
Yeah, it was like exclusive for Peacock at
Well,
some
no,
point.
it was buried in the DreamWorks website, like way down on their Nine Realms page in the videos section. It wasn't on YouTube. It was an
What?
unlisted YouTube video on the DreamWorks site, and I think it was Tariel who sent it to me from the Dragons Wiki, and is like, "Hey, this has been public, or not public, but unlisted for a couple of days on the DreamWorks website. Apparently, do you want to react to it?" And I'm like, "They forgot to tell John again." That
What
poor
the
man.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh man. I mean, either that or the IT team and the DreamWorks general people just don't have a great relationship. It's either of the two.
It was
I
just
don't
so
know.
funny. There was no announcement at all. It just kind of like farted
Yeah,
itself onto
again-
the internet.
Again, I saw your reaction before I saw the actual trailer. I'm like, wait, the trailer is out? What?
Yeah, I'm
I
pretty sure I
didn't
saw
want
it
to
in my
announce
sub
it
feed.
too
And I was like,
much because I didn't know if I was supposed to be looking at it, but it was public on the DreamWorks page, so I was like,
Yeah,
I
like
better not get in trouble for reacting to this.
and you didn't. Thank
No,
God.
I didn't.
yeah, thank God no.
Surprisingly,
Well, not yet.
I'm sure they're
Let's-
coming for me.
Well, as we established, they did have that scene of Tom and June flooding, quote unquote. So they got their revenge, I guess. Maybe.
It's
I
okay. They
guess,
made up
yeah.
for it by Winston turning white.
Yeah, twice. Twice. I can't get
Literally,
over
that
this.
scene happened with Tom and June. I was like, oh, fuck this season. The next episode that happened, I'm like, all right, you're back up. I can't even be mad at you anymore.
Dude,
Uh,
what if you said there was also an animation error with June's bun? What if he literally just changes color mid scene, just while he's talking?
Oh, it will be like in the 80s Ninja Turtles cartoon when they accidentally colored the wrong bandana on the wrong turtle and they'll speak in the wrong voice. It will be the same thing. And
Oh,
it'll be
man.
freaking awesome.
Oh, wow.
All I know
No,
is
he
that
just
if there's
switches
ever
multiple times.
if there's ever a live action Nine Realms, I expect it to happen in that too. You need to hire a black actor, you need to hire a white actor, and you better switch them out
that's
every
so
other shot.
good.
Oh,
See if anyone notices. I bet they will.
That'd be amazing.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. That'd be absolutely wonderful.
It's okay. When I make the live action Nine Realms, I'll include it.
How would they
you.
credit that?
Thank you.
That would be a really awkward credit.
Uh,
That would
It's
just be
already
like
really awkward.
that would be like Winston dark skin, Winston light skin. It's
Well, have you
like-
heard of those sets of twins where like one twin is a different race than the other? There you go.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Damn.
There you go.
Just
Live action
imagining the,
Nine
the
Realms.
casting sheet for that role. Winston, white version. Winston, black.
Mm.
Preferably twins.
Why does it sound like a very messy YouTube show now? That there's like a good Winston and a bad Winston, and both of them criticize things. One is overly positive, one is overly negative, and there's like a result somewhere in the middle.
Man.
Oh god. Oh, this has gone off hinged.
Yeah.
Unhinged.
So, anything
Jesus.
else about season 6? Because I think, besides the fact that it apparently drove us insane because we're talking about complete nonsense now.
Yeah, honestly, we've tried to close this like what 6 times now.
Listen, this is the
I
shit
just-
people love, man. Here at the
It
end.
gives me amnesia. I keep thinking of other things that we haven't talked about.
Oh
But
I don't
my
even know what
let's
year
not-
it is.
you know something? Never joke about amnesia and that show again because we already have a character named Shadow, and we don't need any more connections between those two things. That's
Wait, what?
crack me up, Ian. So
Oh.
that being said, that's all for this episode of the Berkcast. We hope you enjoyed it. What did you think about Nine Realms season 6? And what are you looking forward to in season 7 and maybe 8? And do you want the show to end already? Of course you freaking do. Everyone does. So you can tell us all about it in the comment section below, on our Twitter, which is Berkcast with a capital B, capital C, and on our Tumblr, which is Berkcast Team. Audrie, where can people find you online?
You can find me on YouTube at Audrie Graywent and also on Twitter under the same name.
All right, so and watch all of her videos. She's really funny. So that being said, I was HC,
I was Wolf.
I was Ian.
And I was Audrey.
and we will see you all next time. Take care.
Bye bye.
Why?